Hello, everyone, and you're tuned into a live show called Partying All Night in the Damn Good Coffee Time Cinerama Nude. Just in case you were wondering, the last part confirms that yes, it is a nude party going on tonight. So if you want to join us for that, you're more than welcome, but please remember to show all security details at the entrance, at the doors, which are required, obviously, because we need to know, for instance, that you're an adult. We've had many, underage turning up, like Phantom Cooper, for instance.
Well, she's of legal age nowadays.
Yeah, but even a year ago she wasn't.
I don't know. We could get that confirmation. I believe she's 19 now. So,
well, when she turned up previously, she had a T-shirt on, sleeveless, that said "jailbait," and I was like,
oof. Inappropriate.
Well, she did it, not me. So,
gonna party on your ass tonight. We're gonna party all night long.
That singing there was slightly based on this guy here, Steve Walsh. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Probably.
Not familiar.
He's a Scottish DJ and singer.
That's amazing hair. I wonder if he got a perm.
Sadly died too young.
I'm sorry to hear that.
When he had some kind of operation on his leg or something, and then unfortunately had a heart attack.
Jesus, what are you bringing this kind of negativity to the show for?
They warned him, about what was going to happen because of his being obviously very overweight. But I know I'm just celebrating him more than anything. It's not negative. I mean, earlier I was actually at my parents' and I just said, "Dad, do you know that guy?" And showed him the photo. And my dad's reaction was to just look at it and then say, "Why are you showing me this picture?"
That's a valid fucking question, by the way.
Who is this? Like. Yeah, but I mean, come on. This is the most high tea. Let's get together tonight.
Man's dead.
I'm not making fun of him. Limmy is the one who brought him to my attention. That Scottish comedian who has his own Twitch. Anyway, Phantom Cooper's already in the chat, right on time, which is something I must say is commendable, and impressive. But if you're legal now, does that mean you're ready to bring it? Because I'm interested.
Yeah, she's old enough for you to fly her out to.
When I say bring it, I mean like bring a tray with some yogurt on it, maybe 2 croissants, slice of cherry pie, a large sort of canteen of coffee or whatever you call it, jug. I don't know why the word jug went out of my mind there. So if you can bring that, Phantom Cooper, then let me just say I'll be in 7th heaven.
This is something that would be very tempting to a young lady. That kind of an offer, I mean, she's going to have a hard time resisting.
Well, it would require them to go and scour the shelves of their nearest market or supermarket or whatever you call it in America. So wouldn't they? I'm sure that they would be quite into that idea. But if you're trying to make me feel bad now or like I'm lesser than you by
no, I do not. No, if you wanna fly Phantom Cooper out to you.
No, you're making loads of noise with your mic.
Go on.
You're moving your mic. It's like it's shaking.
I was moving my mic, yeah.
Well, that was done on purpose, I think. So
That was done
please.
strictly for irritation purposes, yeah.
Did you see the last video I did where it was me and Marlena? It was Friday night, and we managed to get quite a few people in the chat eventually.
No, it's terrific.
Not so that was pleasing.
Did you have a topic, or were you just talking?
Film recommendations. I spoke. She's fairly interested in the Scream franchise, so we talked about that for a while. Like she saw the most recent one, Scream 6, and she was she enjoyed it. I mean, she watched it at home, I think, but on a laptop even or something. So
how? Oh, she some guy in a movie theater with a Steadicam type version.
Well, I've not gone into the ins and outs of the whole thing with her yet, as in how she found it. But I think if you want to find a copy of a free, copy of Scream 6, it's not too difficult. I've got like an Amazon Fire Stick, and you can upload this program on there called Kodi, and then there's all this different stuff on there, different viewers.
No, I'm aware of that, but it's prior to the movie being released digitally, when you get it from those places, it's usually just a guy in a movie theater with a Steadicam, and it's really shit. Like, I get it if people wait for the digital release and then watch it on those things, but when you're watching it on the Steadicam thing, it's
not all of them. I mean, on the sources that I find and sites that I go to, these ones that are on Kodi, I don't really like doing it, to be honest, much. But also because the quality often is sometimes they're just not loading properly or something. But with brand new films, it's surprising now how many. I think possibly because films are digitally, they're not celluloid being projected in the same way, that people are just copying them from the digital file that's being sent out to the cinemas, because there's so many that come out and they're like HD 108p, 1080p, and pixels or whatever it's for. So it's very easy to find high quality new films now.
All right. Well, people have rated that movie quite well. It's been doing well.
Yeah, I know, but it's this is the kind of thing we covered in the sense of it. It's a question of the audience who it's playing to, and what they would expect of it. And I don't really think that people like me, who may have had a dim view of it as a whole, I don't go to Rotten Tomatoes and then leave my view or my review, etc., and rating. So I don't know. I think people are flooding the pages with positive ratings, and I mean, Scream 6 is. It's going to be playing to audiences, teenagers, etc., who are likely have never seen maybe the first 3 Scream films, very much, for instance, or.
Well, those are very old films at this point, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they are relatively, but I think considering that it's supposed to be a franchise, but they hide the number of the film anyway, so yeah.
Do they?
Well, yeah, they put the the VI within the letters of Scream, so it's they've been doing that since Scream 4, and Scream 4 was actually directed by Wes Craven, but then Scream 5 was pretty decent, if a bit predictable and all that kind of thing. But then Scream 6, I was not madly keen on it. The opening was good, but
interesting. The big one.
I know you're not interested.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I think I've seen the first 2 Scream movies, maybe, and that's it. They just, I don't know. It just, I get it. They were okay. They were good movies. The movie at the box office this weekend, well, Super Mario is still number 1, but the opening of Evil Dead Rise did pretty good, and it's getting some positive reviews. So I don't know if you were planning to go see that.
Well, no, I mean, I was having those kind of squabbles with Davrim where he seemed to be suggesting that it was going to be really great, but people have different expectations of horrors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Is,
I mean,
is Davrin blocked from watching these videos? Have you or participating in the chat?
No, he's not. No.
Okay.
All I did was just delete his comments when he was, keep repeating the same old things or whatever. So. Yeah, I mean, like with me, I really like the original Evil Dead film, and so that had a grungy appeal to it, because it was low budget and everything about it.
Evil Dead 2 is really good too, don't you think?
Yeah, it is good as well, but also it's evident that they clearly had a bigger budget, and they were basically, I mean, they just remade it. It was pretty much the same film again. So,
and what about Army of Darkness?
I've never even watched it, Army of Darkness. So,
get the fuck out of here.
Not in any. Maybe I've seen a bit of it or something, but it's
wow. Well, you don't like it. What you're not a fan of Sam Raimi. Is that why?
No, I was not into the idea of it turning into like having medieval aspects to it and stuff. So,
it's an excellent film.
But I don't know. I mean, the entire film can't be just him fighting off skeletons and things like this in the old, like Jason the Argonauts type of manner.
It's a fun film. Did you go to the theaters to see Guy Ritchie's latest film? I know you love Guy Ritchie, and it's a war film, which is another genre that you love so much.
Well, he's actually got 2 films out. Like one was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new one on there.
No,
and then this other one that's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. That's what's it called? Something like
The Covenant. It's an alien title. I don't know why he would use that title, to be honest with you.
Well, do you not know the one I'm talking about on Netflix as well? Or?
No, I'm not aware of that. No.
Oh. Okay, well that's one with what's his name in it? The actor from the London actor, the hard guy.
The hard guy. Who, the soccer player?
Let me just go and change my t-shirt. I'm getting a bit uncomfortable. So.
Jesus Christ. All right, I'll address the chat while you're gone. Yes, Ash Evil versus Evil Dead was a very good show. I've actually know somebody who directed a couple episodes of that show. And Army of Darkness is a fun movie. It's not a deep movie, and I mean, but it's comedy horror, and it's a fun movie. Like, you just want to watch a light movie. And yeah, Davrin, the comedy is a big part of Evil Dead. And
yeah, but I preferred the first one, you see, because the original film, because it wasn't so based around comedy. Even though it was hysterical and I had some comedy in it, of course, it was also just just breakneck speed and just kind of frenzied, and some people would find it scary. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the 2013 one was pretty rough as far as being a horror movie. It was a as Davern says, it's completely devoid of humor.
Yeah, I know, but again, when it gets to that point, when it becomes like it's just gross, and then just sort of very taking itself seriously, but also quite well budgeted, almost glossy, really, as a horror film. Mm-hmm. Again, that I find that off-putting, because that's the original Evil Dead was not that at all. So, I mean, that's what I prefer for those films anyway. Like, for me, Evil Dead 2 was a bit disappointing as a youngster, even, because it just wasn't as unremitting and kind of crazy as the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was obviously made more as a comical thing, something, and probably a bit more accessible, Like the first film has her being attacked by the tree and raped by it and things like that. So, what can I just say though? You're moving your mic around a lot.
Am I?
Are you? Is it on something, or is it on your mic or on your headphones? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I was moving something around without, thinking about it.
Okay, it's just I can hear your mic a lot. Maybe.
All right. I'll keep my hands off of it.
Don't keep fiddling with it. Okay. I mean, people have different appreciations. Like with Davrin, he likes films like, the first sort of remake or reboot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. He recommended that one as one of he sees it as part of a whole renaissance of horror certainly within Hollywood films. But I can understand to some extent why somebody might view it like that. I don't think it's terrible by any means, but I don't know. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
They're not really your kind of thing, are they? So,
you know what? I'm embarrassed to admit I've never seen any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, and I know that at least the original is considered a masterpiece. So,
the first one and the second one are definitely both interesting and entertaining in different ways. So the second one has more comedy aspects, but also more just visually unpleasant things in there. So
yeah, no, I know it's a shock, Davern, but we all have these films. I
do think you've turned your you turned your mic now up too high to try and be dominant over me, I think.
Jesus Christ, man. Come on. For fuck's sake. I mean, I'll turn it down.
I'm just putting it down slightly there, yeah. Anyway, hello to everyone in the chat now, and great to have you here.
Yeah, I will. But we all have these films, Davern, that we haven't seen, these classic films, or we just haven't gone around to it. Honestly, that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of those for me, and I do intend to go around and watch them. At least the original, I know, based on, But this new Evil Dead movie is getting good reviews from critics and fans. 84 from critics, 81 from fans. Which 84 from critics for a horror film.
You can't just rely on Rotten Tomatoes, though. Come on.
Well, no, I certainly don't. But I don't ignore it either. For the critics to find a horror film this high makes me wonder why. If there's some sort of agenda for them to love it so much.
It's probably because the film is not quite as predictable as so many ones have been recently, especially all the ones with the possession aspects and, the stuff like in The Conjuring type of thing, hiding in the dark corners, then jumping out all of a sudden, just jump scares all the time. I don't know. This one just kind of ratchets it up, to 11, and then. But the thing is, I saw a review of it, and it said it doesn't even need necessarily. It could almost very slightly it's not. It could almost not be an Evil Dead film, really. So it could almost be like he was saying. It's almost like some kind of new start for the the franchise, but like you could just put a different name on it and it's just related to Evil Dead. But
right, my understanding is it's opening up the universe. Now, the reason for that is, and this kind of thing interests me. This was originally supposed to be a straight to streaming release, but it came out so
yeah, it
good.
was. Yeah,
They said, "Fuck that! Let's put it in theaters." Warner Brothers.
was it supposed to be on HBO Max or
Correct. It's a
something
Warner
like that?
Brothers. It's a Warner Brothers production, so yeah, it would have been on HBO Max. So I always like that when a movie overperforms expectations. You know. So I am interested. I mean, I'm not going to go to the theater. I'll wait till it comes out on HBO Max, but I will watch it.
Mm. Yeah, but at the same time, a movie like that can inevitably feel like it was made for TV if you go and see it in the cinema. So, although I do think the cinema can improve anything just by expanding the size of it and everything, and the sound and all that. But
I spoke to a friend who's admittedly an Evil Dead fanboy, but he loved it, and he said it was very cinematic and it was terrific. So, you know, a couple of friends actually, they both liked it. They're one of them is not a fanboy, one was.
In terms of the new Hellraiser, you didn't see that, did you?
No, I haven't gone around to it.
Like for me, I think the aspect of the cinema is purely the industry. Like if they know it can sell tickets, then that is really that's the bottom line, and so that's what must have decided. They probably also thought that obviously the film was good enough to run in theaters, but
well, yeah, obviously, Warner Brothers. There's been a lot of controversy with their creatives about them just doing straight to streaming stuff. I mean, they canceled Batgirl because they didn't think it was good enough. So the
new Hellraiser, I think, even though there were certain aspects about it which are like bringing in a bunch of young people in it and into the cast, and they're investigating all of this, the Hellraiser myths and things. But I think that film warranted being seen in the cinema, and yet it only got a home release, as far as I'm aware. I mean, it may have got one night or something, or shown in festivals or something like this. But so it's fairly random in terms of, but at the same time, when films are basically being made with an eye on home release, well, I mean, the reason for the Hellraiser situation is, I think that the studio was being, I don't know, they must have just thought that they could get the most out of it financially by releasing it to home release, and then people renting it. And yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I think that Hellraiser just doesn't have the same, also, the same cachet or whatever in the cinemas. People just won't turn out to see a Hellraiser film as much at this point, anyway.
Yeah,
the same with the Chainsaw Massacre films like that. They made another sort of reboot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I thought it was going to be on the cinemas, but it was a Netflix thing.
Right.
And I started watching that, and it was mainly centered around a bunch of teens or young students and stuff. So
that's who they got to get after. They got to get a new audience. The Predator movie,
but it just completely removes the sort of real feel and what's worthwhile with a film like that. You've got to have a kind of grittiness and all that kind of thing with a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film to some extent.
So the most gritty I think they could make a modern movie look and still get modern audiences into it is how they did Black Phone. Black Phone, it had a gritty look. The camera they used, I mean, you'd know better than me what that is. But you know what I mean? The look of Black Phone it did have a bit more of a realism to it, but that's, I think, the most they could get. They could not release a movie like with the gritty feel that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, had. And I haven't seen the movie. But I have.
No, not at all, because I think the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed on like 16mm, and then it was blown up. So it's just, it gives it immediately through the feel of the look of the film and everything. So
I don't think there's a problem with a blue velvet couch, Brian Mahoney. Many people, our velvet furniture is sort of on, into things. I mean, blue. I see a lot of people using green velvet couches, but I don't think there'll be a problem with blue velvet. I don't know if it will exasperate your porn addiction. I hope not. But if you think it will, then I don't recommend it. Porn addiction is a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, the things that I don't understand is, for instance, I suppose all of this is down to perception. Like, and I agree with what Davron's saying in terms of Hellraiser 3 and something becoming Americanized. But that's my problem with, for instance, Evil Dead Rise. It's like it's been turned into another franchise without any real. And it's got that Americanized aspect to it where it's just going through the motions, they're just spinning it out. So.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Brian. I hope you're okay.
What? Oh.
He said he's at urgent care. Jesus, Brian, what the fuck? Well, you need to be at urgent care if you have such a severe infection. I hope they put you on an antibiotic drip or something.
We've had Brian in here plenty of times, I think.
Okay.
It's a little bit unusual for you to be writing this from the hospital, Brian, but I mean, blimey.
I mean,
sending you only the best wishes from here. So
yeah.
You're welcome to stay with us and join in the fun here.
Yeah, especially if you're waiting to get seen at the doctor's office. This might be a pleasant distraction for you. But the Predator movie that they released straight to Hulu or Disney Plus for you people, I haven't watched that either. I intend to, but I know several people who said that should have been a cinematic release. Have you seen that film?
I don't even know which film you're talking about now.
The latest Predator film, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, I've not seen it.
Bloody hell.
What's it called?
Neither. I think it's called Prey.
Prey, yeah. It's supposed to be decent for what it is, but my issue with it all is it's got to the point where basically there's no creative kind of thing going on with the film. They're just using a franchise. And, but that one is supposed to be pretty good for what it is, for sure. But
yeah, sure. I even liked, and this is controversial. Again, sometimes I like dumb, fun movies. I like the Alien versus Predator films. What do you want? What do you think of that? I know that's a hot take, but for what they are, just dumb movies.
Well, no, I have no problem with that because obviously I like the Alien films, but to cross them with the Predator film, especially, you're sort of getting the best of both worlds. But
yeah. But the most recent Alien films, I love those too. I know people are controversial about those, but I enjoy those films. I'm looking forward to, and people are controversial about them because it focuses on these other beings, like the space jockey and what he was and all that sort of thing. But actually, I'm more interested in that story than I am just the xenomorphs, running around killing everybody.
What did you call a space jockey?
Yeah, in the original Alien, they found the dead body originally, and it was like they called him the space jockey. That was his. But he wasn't a character in the original films. He was just a dead body, and they actually explain who that is in these. Have you seen the most recent films? Covenant and
yeah, of course I have. Yeah.
Right. It's about those guys are the space jockey. That's his race. And apparently they created Earth.
What, by being jockeys?
Yeah, by taking whatever that magic black stuff is that he pours into the water and then he whatever.
I thought that meant that they would be riding around on horses.
Oh, I see. Because of
unless like if you call them knob jockeys. It's,
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I have. Knob jockeys. Yeah. Yeah, Ben, many people thought Prometheus was disappointing, and I get it. I actually think it's a terrific sci-fi film, and but again, it's sort of like if you have expectations of the old Alien films, you're not going to like these films. I get it, but it's I look at it as a different thing.
No, I like Prometheus. I think it has enough connections to the Alien films to work.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, really. I would say. Alien Covenant is more obviously alien related in its.
It is, and it's not as good in my
on.
opinion, but it's still good.
No, it's more like a kind of a pulp film for entertainment purposes.
And now apparently Disney owns the rights to the Alien series, and Ridley Scott said he's going to make it, but we'll see.
I don't know why you find it disappointing, by the way, Ben.
Well, it's not got enough hot xenomorph action for people, which I get. I get it.
I'm not sure though if that's the case with Ben, whether he was looking for that. Maybe he just didn't like certain aspects of it, i.e.
Would you say that it's a complete departure from the prior films? Or at least a significant departure? Yes, correct, Dan Peak. They were called engineers. Yeah.
Okay, so compared to what was the last Alien film before that? Alien with the one with Winona Ryder in it, right?
I suppose, yeah. That would be correct.
Yeah. I mean, that in itself was enough of a departure, surely. So
yeah, but it was still your usual. You're on a ship, you're on a space station, you're on some kind of thing, and there's fucking aliens running all over, and you have to get through it. Yeah,
but it's not just the content of what's it. It is, yeah, and then it's got like the different crew members, and then there's always the crew members who are like one's a bit more sadistic, or one's a thug, or etc. And then
game over, man. What's a famous line?
But it kind of ruins it because you've got to Weaver basically playing, an alien, so it's so it's just not quite.
Yeah, but there's none of that in Prometheus.
Sympathetic.
There's none of that. There's pretty much none of that in Prometheus. So it's kind of a brave film for them to release when you think about it.
It just expands the whole mythos, or whatever you want to call it, correct. The story of
correct.
A lot of it seems to be about that, really.
Yeah,
and it does have good performances in it for sure.
And it's really more of a pure sci-fi film, and with some action and horror in it, I guess. But it's nothing like the other films, and I love it, even though it's got one of my most hated actresses, Charlize Theron, in it.
It's not like I wouldn't say that any of Prometheus is particularly scary, apart from maybe the end bit, or where she pulls the alien out of herself. That's
terrific scenes where she tries to give herself that abortion. That's terrific.
Yeah, it is, because it makes you think, oh, I'd like to do that.
I'd like to have
on
the
opportunity.
Myself. Yeah, it's just really well done.
I'm going to get some of my blubber off my belly there.
Well, that would be good. See, I wonder if those machines could do that for people, I mean, if they've got that kind of thing,
Yeah, you just put a number in and enter. So I understand what Ben is saying, aka Gunker. I think that the mood of the film, or the feel of the film, is somewhat sort of, it doesn't deliver a kind of a proper sustained feeling of menace or suspense or anything. It's basically just a whole bunch of scenes, culminating, but there's nothing. You don't really have a sort of, you're not kind of behind one of the characters in particular. We've got the Noomi Rapace main female character, but the thing is, it's not really just about her. It's got all the other stuff like David and.
Look, I thought the storytelling was good. I thought it was a good a good script. Again, but it doesn't have that hot, sexy, chaotic xenomorphs coming after you action, which, it's tough for them to do when they call the film Alien,
Well, it starts off. Well, they didn't call it Alien, did they?
I thought they called it Alien Covenant.
Yeah, that one does have more alien stuff, though, in it, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, Alien.
No, they didn't call it Alien Prometheus. Just called it Prometheus, and that's it.
They just call it Prometheus. You're right. You're right.
So they were pretty open about it being its own thing. And I wish I'd been to see it at the cinema, actually.
Mm-hmm. That would be one worth going to see at the cinema. Wow, I can't believe
that
we released 2012. It's that fucking old at this point. Jesus Christ.
Well, it almost seems like it was released further back than that. But I think, like the opening scene where it's next to there's a sort of waterfall, and is that one of the jockeys there? No.
Yes, the engineers, as Dan Peake points out, they call them engineers in the film more than they.
So not jockeys.
No, but that's what they were called. I don't know why you've never heard this term before from the original?
Yeah, I have heard it. Not jockeys.
Okay. All right. I mean, you really hung up on it, but
I remember when John Hurt keeps calling them that, and I was like, what? It's a bit it's weird. Why does he keep going on about, jockeys?
Mm-hmm. But there's people absolutely obsessed with those two films and the whole.
What's funny, actually, is John Hurt did actually play a jockey in a film.
Well, there you go.
Who won the Grand National and stuff. It's not hard to believe because he was quite light, and everything. Just confirmed for that for everyone. John Hurt jockey. It's 80s flashback for you. Champions. The true story of Bob Champion, a British steeplechase jockey. I remember that.
Sounds like pure shit.
Well, he was diagnosed with cancer at the height of his career, so
that's a shame.
Maybe you shouldn't have said it was complete shit.
All right, well, maybe that's a little bit
insensitive.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in indulging this fun little exercise for a little bit with the people in the chat, where we rank some horror films? Do you have any interest in doing that? I mean, I know, to give your opinion, I'm sure the people would like to do this.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
If people want your opinion, and you can take the opinions of the people in chat. There's some shit movies in here we can ignore, but we'll start with one that I know you love.
I was going to mention Marlena said that she was going to come on, but she's in a Zoom meeting or something. So
all right, well, she can join us later. Okay, so I know you love the original Candyman. It's one of your favorite films. So there's the rankings.
I do remember seeing it and thinking this is better than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Some people have said also that they rate both the remake and the original side by side. So
Mm-hmm. So where would you put it? I hope Davern's still in the chat. He's a fan of this genre. Well, we'll get there, Phantom Cooper. We'll certainly address a thing, but we're doing Candyman right now. So where would you put it?
If he's not, it's terrible.
Is entertaining? Would you put it really good? I personally think it's at least really good. People love the movie. I have to say it's really good. That's just my opinion. Would you agree with that, or would you want it higher or lower?
Well, bear in mind, I've only ever seen it once.
All right.
And it's not necessarily my kind of horror exactly, but it's...
So you would put it to entertaining then?
No, I would say it's very good, or quite good.
Really
better
good.
Better than entertaining.
All right, so let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's do this one. This is, to me, American Psycho is a masterpiece, without question. Tremendous rewatchability, tremendous aesthetic. The director is fantastic. I don't know why she hasn't done more movies. I guess, but I think it's a masterpiece. Do you think American Psycho is a masterpiece? Yes or no?
What does the next one down say?
Near perfect, must see.
All right, I'm just getting my screen a bit bigger.
Okay,
No, I would say American Psycho is a masterpiece. Yeah.
yeah, tremendous rewatchability and aesthetics. All right, I know you're gonna love
But
this movie.
it's also hilarious,
Yeah,
despite not being a comedy exactly. So
so I mean, it's an entertaining film. All right, so I know people love this movie. Personally, I just think it's entertaining. 28 Days Later, how do you feel about it as an Englishman?
No, I would.
Yes, Phantom Cooper, that's why.
I mean, I would actually put 28 Days Later above Candyman, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's near perfect. But it's
Well, you
very
have to.
good for what it is. Definitely put it alongside Candyman.
Okay, so that's what you think. Right. Yeah, okay. It is really good, at least. I don't know why. Just the zombie genre is a challenge for me sometimes.
I don't know. It starts off really well, and then as soon as they move out of London, I think it gets into the whole military business, the army and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems to sort of peter out a bit, but
What the fuck is Eraserhead doing on this list? But all right, it's not a horror movie. People think of that as a horror movie?
it's always been put in that kind of category by some people who are just a bit,
all right,
being a bit wide with a. I don't really care about
I know Jamie loves this movie. Happy Death Day. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that's about right. I would say it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't really understand these ratings where it goes from entertaining straight down to not my thing. That's like it's not much of a.
You're right.
Basically, you love everything, or you don't like. Then it goes down into garbo, which obviously means garbage. Haven't seen, but interested. Haven't seen, no opinion. Not interested. What?
I didn't create the list. I didn't create the rankings.
So basically, someone could fill up the entire list with haven't seen, but interested.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that would be silly. Okay, here's what I know you have strong feelings about: the original Suspiria.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Where would you put that?
Well, Suspiria is a masterpiece. If you, especially ranked alongside ones like, those. So,
okay,
I've seen it like recently, and it kind of it hit me different to how it did before, but it's still very effective. It would really be a film you have to see in the cinema to properly appreciate, I think.
Okay, here you go.
The original Halloween.
Correct. Where do you put this?
The original Halloween is a masterpiece, I would say.
I would agree.
It is a really good film, just in terms of John Carpenter as a director. Even if you're not interested in slasher films, you would enjoy it, I think.
All right. Yeah,
it's really atmospheric, and it really creates a feeling for the place it's set, and
it hits that mark where it's not just a horror movie; it's a film first with horror elements. So I do feel that. I feel the same way about that as you.
Yeah, it's just really well crafted.
Okay, in honor of Davrin, here we go.
Dr. Sleep.
Oh boy. Controversial, heavily discussed on this channel.
Well, I mean, it is. Honestly, what is the difference between entertaining and really good?
Well, entertaining is just Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day is like, I would say, you're looking for a fun movie to watch on a Saturday night. Watch Happy Death Day, but it's not something you really should see. A really good movie is like, yeah, you should really check out Dr. Sleep. It's a good film.
I think for the most part, I would say that Dr. Sleep would fit into entertaining, but I think it does contain elements which are really good as well. So
it's really good in my opinion.
For a modern horror film, I think they put proper effort into that film, and I'll always give them credit for that.
And that's a really good point. There is a lot of care and effort into it.
I mean, maybe I didn't think that, for instance, Ewan McGregor was entirely the perfect casting for the central role, but we can all nitpick and just say,
Sure you can. All right, let's see here. I know you love this movie. The Reanimator.
All right, the original Reanimator. Yeah. This is
I haven't
again
seen it,
something I
so
would
I
have.
can't rank
I've
it.
seen on video when I was very young, and all I remember is a man's head being put in a woman's crotch and things like that, and
Nice.
hijinks in a yeah, but like a severed head, hijinks in a
Oh,
hospital. So
let's see.
not really. So
You don't feel like strongly about it. Does
oh
anyone
no,
else
I
have
think
any strong
Reanimator
feelings?
I would easily put in really good.
Okay. What about
Some
people
people
in
would
chat?
rate it
Davern, this seems
higher
like
than that.
your era of films that you love, or if anybody else has any feelings, but we'll leave it in. We'll put it in really good right now. I can't comment. I haven't seen it, so I'll take your word for it as really good. Okay, let's see what else I'm going to pull up from this list to have some discussion about. Oh, here you go. There you go. What is that? Is that the movie I think it is? Is that the Tom Cruise vampire film?
Oh, we were talking about. I'd mentioned this to Davin the other day, or he to me, and yeah, Cameron did a watch along of that Interview with the Vampire. So
You know what? I have seen Reanimator. Right. I forgot that
no, he didn't. I'm getting Interview with the Vampire mixed up with the Dracula film.
No, the Bram Stoker one. No, this is Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've ever watched the entirety of Interview with the Vampire.
It's really good. So you don't get to vote. I mean, but I'll take any input from. It is a tier list.
Ashton says it's a masterpiece. So
masterpiece.
Davin, of course, says it's awful.
I prefer Bram Stoker's Dracula as well, though. I have to agree with him. I love Bram.
Yeah, but, I mean, why is it awful, Davin? Come on, you've got to. You can't just say it's awful and no reason.
It's very stylistic, and it's very. They go for the elegance in that, and I guess he doesn't like all the hunks being featured so much in it, I suppose. But it's at least really good, in my opinion. Okay, let's see here. You should finish that, James. I'm surprised at you. I know you're a big Tom Cruise fan. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, here we go. Here we go. This is, to me, a masterpiece, but I will take your comments about it. The Witch.
Yeah, I have no problem with you putting that at the top, even though I think it's kind of a very different film to what many people might expect as being both incredibly entertaining, but also, gives them the chills.
Yeah, and it's like slow storytelling. I get it. But I feel like it's a masterpiece. It's fantastic, tremendous rewatchability, and it is kind of the hipster genre of horror. I hate to use that term. Yeah. Oh, hey, Indy Phantom. We haven't seen you here in a while. Welcome.
Have we seen the German film Mom? No, I've not.
I'm not familiar. It sounds so terrifying, though. All right, let's go. Let's see. Too bad Josh is not here, so he can blow a load over Stanley Kubrick. We got A Clockwork Orange.
Well, A Clockwork Orange is most definitely not a horror film. That's just ridiculous.
Well, I guess the home invasion rape doesn't count as
it's
horror.
Certainly got some. It's got some kind of alarming aspect to it, but
I know,
you may as well put it in comedy. That's just
wow.
Well, anyway,
all right. It's a near perfect film. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but although I know a lot of people would disagree with me and say that it is indeed a masterpiece.
No, I do think it's a masterpiece in terms of.
Do you? All right, it's your platform.
Effectiveness of the style.
Yeah, I got to take my personal things that the film disturbed me the first time I watched it very badly, but it is a very good film. I can't take that away from Kubrick because of my own personal feelings. So I appreciate you correcting me on that. I don't want to be. Or I know you love this film, James. Okay. The Craft. This is your type of film.
Well, no, I actually went to see The Craft at the cinema, and it was an entirely entertaining film. I would say it's above entertaining.
It is not really good, is it? All right,
I think it is if people are into that kind of thing.
Okay, so I want the chat to break the tie. I think
it's cheesy, really yeah. Like a lot of horror can be cheesy, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's
all right.
It's
Ashton
fun,
says
isn't
it's
it?
A masterpiece. Jesus, I don't think so, Ashton. But all right. Anybody else have any comments on The Craft? No.
A lot of people would agree with Ashton on that. I think, even though it's like a masterpiece of schlock horror, or not schlock, it's not the right word.
All right. Then I'll
cheesy,
move it up,
cheesy teen witch horror.
I will move it up then because people disagree with me, so that's fine. We'll give it to that. All right. Let's see what's interesting here. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is an amazing film. Signs, starring Mel Gibson. M. Night Shyamalan completely starts shitting the bed.
Not
horror.
It
is. That's why I have to agree to masterpiece, Indie Phantom, because it did disturb me, but it is tremendous. All right, so how do you feel?
I think Chloe Orange almost feels it. It's one of these films that almost it feels distasteful. You can understand why Kubrick withdrew it and sort of banned it himself in the UK because he was getting death threats. And yeah, I think the film really has a powerfulness to it. To it.
Yeah, indeed. All right. So have you seen Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan film?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's. I would say it's above entertaining. It's easily,
oh my
but it's
God,
not.
really?
No, it's not actually. It's not. It's one of those films that I thought like it kind of had a really good idea and then sort of went with it for quite well for a while. But it just went nowhere. A bit like The Village as well.
I prefer The Village, but so you think it's really good then?
No, I put it as entertaining.
I would agree. Ashton, I don't know how you think that's a masterpiece, but that's your opinion, and I respect it. All right.
Well, I don't know. It's got a very good cast. You've got to admit,
Tremendous cast.
It's got.
Yeah, Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, what do you want?
Is there a little girl in it or a little boy?
Yeah, a little girl. And, the scene where he is talking to his wife and she's pinned by the car is really good filmmaking, good writing. You know what? I'm starting to turn around on this movie and put it to really good, to be honest with you. That scene alone, that sequence alone where he's talking to his wife, the sequence I'm talking about, and she's pinned up against the car where she's dying. Good writing, good filmmaking. Yeah.
He's in Greek. He's a priest who's lost. I remember it now. You made fun of, like Mel Gibson is a priest who's lost his faith.
Well, he's very Catholic, so that makes sense. You know what? It is a very good movie. The more I think about it, it's better. We got to get our minds out of the M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, how does it culminate? It basically they see an alien in. But what's the
so that scene where she's pinned up against the thing and he's talking to her. She doesn't know it, he doesn't know it, but she's giving him hints on how to defeat the aliens all throughout. Remember? Like the water glasses being left around and swinging away.
Oh God.
Yeah. Is this lowering your rating of it?
What does that mean? Does that mean that the aliens have been sending messages into her brain or something?
Well, it's
just a supernatural thing.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Sveen, it's been a long time.
All right, anyway, yeah.
All right. It's at least really good, I think. Now I'm going to take it up. All right, let's see here. All right, here's one that I know you love. The Antichrist.
Well, you mean it's just called Antichrist, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never even seen it.
Okay, me neither. So I don't know. I thought you.
But I'm sure it's better than just entertaining. So.
All right. Well, we can't be. I thought you'd seen that for some reason. Oh boy, here we go. The original.
Apparently, Willem Dafoe puts like a nail through his balls.
Oh my God, I have seen Antichrist. What the fuck's wrong with you? That's where the fox is eating out its own guts and shit like that. That is an entertaining film. Disturbing as well. Yeah. Okay, so the original Nightmare on Elm Street. How do you feel about the original Nightmare on Elm Street? The original one.
Yeah, for me, I would put it at the top. Basically, I would
as a masterpiece.
I find the term masterpiece a bit strong, but it's like it really is kind of especially of its time and everything, for a mainstream horror movie, it really had a kind of a big effect.
It's challenging not to consider it a masterpiece. I mean, you sort of think of these Nightmare on Elm Street movies as the whole series, but you got to take your head out of that and remember what this movie was and why it spawned that whole thing. It was terrifying and well done. So yeah, I would have to say it's a masterpiece as well.
Yeah, and largely a lot of the series was not up to the standard of the first one.
It could not meet it. No, I would agree with you.
Although Cameron, for instance, loves the third one, which I've never actually seen in full. But
it's too bad Cameron's not around. He would be interesting to have
Warriors.
while we engage in this exercise. Is it? Can I message him, see if he's available to come on and join us, or no?
You can do that if you want.
But
I mean, how long is this going to go? Are we going to be here?
All right, that's fine. We don't have to. As long truthfully, I figured until you got sick of it, however long that takes.
I'm not getting sick. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, there's no way we're going to finish all these films. It's just stupid.
No.
There's just too many. But I'm kind of just picking out interesting ones, like the Pet Cemetery, the original. The Ramones. I don't want to be buried in the Pet Cemetery.
I would put Pet Cemetery under masterpiece, even though in many ways there's no reason why it shouldn't be in masterpiece for a horror film.
I just feel like it's not quite masterpiece, but it's certainly near perfect. It's you're right. It's tough not to make it. It's got tremendous rewatchability.
I think the thing that prevents it getting into full on, full bore masterpiece categorization, which is something that many people want. The film has it has a kind of slight tackiness to some of it, or a little bit of a, that kind of glossy feel of the end of the 80s and stuff, that it's okay to some extent in films, but sometimes it can slightly make it feel a little bit like music video-ish or something like that,
Yeah. It's really well done, and I actually
overly stylized, or just with this sort of
time.
I don't know. It's just like those scenes, for instance, where the little boy's got the scalpel or whatever, and things like that. It's just
I want to play with you.
It's like the lighting and the way they're directed and everything is a little bit like could have been done a bit differently, maybe, but
Oh, get your boy! Remember, he's running into the street. He goes, "Oh, get your boy!" That Herman Munster actor. All right. Yeah, you know what? I agree, Dan. I think Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is my favorite as well.
I can't believe that Davrin is saying that the original Nightmare is hampered by its ending. I mean...
and yes, I have heard these rumors about Willem Dafoe as well. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of masterpieces up there.
That's not actually true. He really did put a nail through his peen. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see what else is interesting to discuss here off of this list. Okay. How about Tremors? How do you feel about Kevin Bacon's Tremors?
I saw that in the cinema, and I will say it's entertaining.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it even really good, to be honest with you. I know people love it, but it's entertaining. All right, I don't know why this movie is here, but the 90s goth emo movie, Donnie Darko. Not a horror film in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion, but okay. Where do you put that? Patrick Swayze, Repo.
I would put it like below, just second down, next to Pet Sematary.
To near perfect. I agree with you on that. I don't disagree. It's a really good film. It's not a horror film, but a really good film. I
mean, I have a problem with the masterpiece label anyway, because we've got like a Clockwork Orange, which is not a horror film, you know. So
No, I know.
So we're kind of like saying it's a masterpiece horror film, which of course it's not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
All right,
imagine somebody like, "Oh, can I watch a good horror film, please?" Yeah, a Clockwork Orange. Check it out. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece horror. Then you put a sticker on it. You even put a sticker on in the video shop. Masterpiece horror. I mean, your viewers then, your customers would be like, "What the hell are you doing? This is not a masterpiece horror. You're crazy."
You've miscategorized it, haven't you? Oh boy, here we go.
It misled your customers.
The Conjuring. Not The Conjuring 2.
You not put Conjuring under masterpiece, have you? Underneath.
I put it as near perfect.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, come on now.
Now, so look at.
This is like a categorization of films based on a 12-year-old who's only just started watching movies.
So it's at least really good. I will say that the cast.
Yeah, but I think Conjuring 2 is a masterpiece.
I love The Conjuring 2.
Really
and I do like The Conjuring as well. It mixes genres. If you think there's like more than one baddie, you know what I mean? Where would you put it though? I'm biased because I really love it. So if you don't think it's near perfect, you think it's at least really good. Would you agree with that?
No, for me it was just entertaining.
No. Well, we'll have to compromise it really good. Sorry, I can't let you do that. I'm saving you from yourself.
I know I've really upset you now, but you know.
Yeah, you have. Oh boy, here we go.
I do agree with Ashton in the chat where she says Silence of the Lambs, that's a masterpiece.
Well, we'll get there.
Yes. But again, I don't think it's not strictly a horror film, even though some people do find it really disturbing. I know. But...
Yeah, but there's non-horror films on this list, so what are you going to do? Okay, so now Hereditary. We're getting into the hipster horror now.
Well, I would put it like third down, maybe, or something like that.
Really good. Okay.
I'd say it was entertaining to really good. I mean, I'm not a mad keen on Hereditary, as some people are. But...
Yeah, okay. I know Josh loved it, but he's biased.
Do you like it?
I think it's really good, and I think it's near perfect, to tell you the truth. As far as storytelling and rewatchability, I do think there's some problems with some of the effect. I when people like Davern say it's a masterpiece, I understand why they think it's a masterpiece. I have a hard time disagreeing with them. Some of the shots are too dark, in my opinion. And I liked Midsummer. I didn't prefer it, Indie Phantom, but yeah, I'm gonna move it up. I think to near perfect must see. I mean, I agree. If you don't want to put it in masterpiece, I get it, but it's better than really good. It's one of those ones I would say you really should see that film. It's a good movie. Ari Aster does a tremendous.
It's got a lot of parts in it that having seen it more than once, it certainly stays in the mind, but it's sort of a bit. For me, I find Hereditary a bit too gloomy. That's and sort of. And it's.
I don't know that's the theme. Fanta Cooper says the theme is that ugly people are evil. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think that's what Ari Aster was going after. But it's an interesting take on the film. All right.
There's that scene in the class, isn't there, where he's the lad. He's he kind of what starts happening to his face, like one of his eyes starts bulging out.
Stuff like that. Yeah, right.
That part I found really sort of like, what the hell? You know, what's going on now?
It's weird. He takes his little sister to a party. His little sister suffering from asthma to a teenage high school party. You know. There's some issues there, but
but doesn't she eat the cookies with cannabis in them or something?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You knew something was going to happen.
I didn't really like it when they had her head go flying off, but then the thing is, the film's like quite deliberately distasteful, isn't it? So
All right. Now here's a hot one. The Conjuring 2.
I would put that masterpiece probably.
It's really good, brother. All right.
Just for the realism of the depiction of East End London.
Love it.
Now the houses are much bigger on the inside than from the outside as well. So
I thought that's how it works over there, according to Harry Potter and everything I've seen.
Oh, what's happening? She's just jumped from one bed to another. She must be possessed.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, here you go.
Well, okay. The sister, when you say she's ugly, Phantom Cooper, she's got some kind of facial deformity or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's no reason to dislike a film. That
only moderate. It's not anything. I wouldn't say she's unattractive. That's not fair. But the thing is, what about in Midsummer when they keep cut into that, like, the inbred?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, where do you put the original Poltergeist?
Oh, I would actually put the Poltergeist up as a masterpiece for me, because I just really admire it as a kind of
film.
No, I mean, as Tobe Hooper, who he after all directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then he made that. And some people said that Spielberg shadow directed a lot of it, but I'm not sure how true that all is. I mean, I think there's still elements of Tobe Hooper in there, though. So it's actually, I actually find it quite a sentimental film. I mean, in the sense that some Spielberg films can be, which him as a producer, for instance. But I mean, it seems genuine enough for me. So.
Yeah. It's difficult to dispute it as a masterpiece, really. Let's see here. Okay, let's do.
I think some people would find it too sentimental, for instance, but I actually like that aspect because I think it works.
All are welcome. Do you remember that scene? All right, is this the remake or is this the original TV series? I can't tell the difference.
That's the TV show from 1990.
Oh, is that the 1990s? Oh yeah, you're right. Here's the whatever. Okay, well, let's do them both at the same time then. All right, so we've got Tim Curry, It, and then the new It, which I'll bet you Davern hates the new It.
Well, he prefers the older one, but yeah, I mean, for me anyway, I'd say that the 90s It was very good.
Really good. I agree with you.
But no, just very good. Third Down.
Which is, it's real. The Third Down is really good.
Yeah, he's really good, but it's nothing that remarkable in my opinion.
No, but it's really
and I would put the It from some years from like whenever it came out, 2017. That's like masterpiece.
Yeah, near perfect. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece personally.
Some people, including Davrin, will go apeshit over that. Actually, now I would put them both by each other side, but to be honest, I wouldn't put it. I'd put them both Third Down.
Yeah, no, really, I think the remake was really good. So I'm going to disagree with you.
I think the remake is flawed in many ways, but I think it's still decent enough, and I enjoyed it a lot actually. So
yeah, I think the effects in
I agree with you on that.
Were really good.
Even the second one was like it had this feeling of like we don't know what we're really doing here, so we're just gonna have these scenes. I don't know if they're in the book or whatever, like going to the Chinese restaurant and there's like creatures crawling out of the fortune cookies and all that business, like with a baby's head. I mean, it was just like what.
All right, Blair Witch Project. Now this is going to be an interesting one. Not Book of Shadows, which I know you love.
I would put Blair Witch Project as a masterpiece.
I have to agree.
Just for the hell of it, because there's many things that people can pick apart about it being annoying or just swearing at each other nonstop and shouting and falling out, but and crappy, video quality of the image and all that kind of thing. But
super innovative, of its time. Like
I really enjoyed the way they related to each other in it as well.
I loved it. It scared the fuck out of me in the theaters. Okay, and I love the movie. I gotta say,
like when Mike started saying he chucked the map in the in the ravine or whatever, that made me laugh, Matt.
I was gonna say that made you laugh. I thought you'd want to kick the shit out of that Mike guy. You get so annoying with.
No, it was because it was understandable why the way Heather was talking to him and everything. So.
They do a good job with the relation between the characters. Now, this is a movie I know that when you're at a cocktail party or you're on a first date with a girl, a lot of the conversation is focused on Cannibal Holocaust with you. So where do you put that?
I always try and make sure that that's probably something I bring up on meeting someone wherever I've agreed to meet them in a cafe or something.
Yeah.
Hi, have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? And if they have, then I've always got something that I can bring out in either case. If they haven't, I can say, well, I've got a Blu-ray of it here. Would you?
And VHS, take your pick.
Have you got a Blu-ray player, that is? Because, not everyone will have one these days, I don't think.
No, I think you'll see more Blu-ray player owners than VHS tape owners. So I know you can watch them in both formats. All right, so where would you put? Okay, yeah, actually, Davern has a look. I have to say, sometimes I disagree with Davern's opinions, but his review of Blair Witch is good. Blair Witch is very tiresome to watch, but there's no denying its brilliance and sheer unapologetic effectiveness in doing everything it sets out to do. All right, I don't agree with the first part, but yes,
it probably is tiresome when you're very familiar with it. But I think when we first saw it, for many people, yes, I do think that there would have been people going to see it in the cinemas or at home, especially, and they would be just like, when is the camera going to stop shaking? And it's basically just endless shots of trees, really, wasn't it? So.
All right, so where? I
don't know. I'm the film didn't feel like that to me. Like I still remember those things that were hung up. Like the
sure,
the designs, the kind of sigils or whatever you call them.
Yeah, the little handmade things, and they're in the tent and the kids laughing. I mean, that was fucking terrifying. Terrifying.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a bit predictable, as in a noise that's going to be scary. But the thing is, in that film,
was it predictable back then? I feel like that you see that a lot more now, like the fear of children.
I don't know. I mean, I think horror films going back may have used that kind of thing, but it was just the film. It did work well within it, and it certainly shit me right up.
Yeah, shit you right up. So, Cannibal Holocaust, where is it?
Literally, I had to leave the. I actually stained the seat.
Were you asked to leave?
Yeah, some people behind me said, "What the hell's that smell?" And I said, "I've shat myself. Okay, this film is scary."
Yeah.
And they said, "This is not normal. What have you been eating? You smell like you've been eating lots of butter chicken." And I said, "I have." Okay, I had a massive butter chicken, 2 courses of butter chicken, and then came to the cinema. All right, yes.
Right before you went to the cinema, huh?
And then 5 pints of Guinness. It was coming out of me like liquid gold.
It would. It would. Your stomach must have been tore up. All right, where do you put Cannibal Holocaust? I can't comment because I've not seen it.
Well, I actually broke one of the toilets in the cinema.
Oh, so you tried to do it in the toilet? Okay, all right. I thought you had an accident. You didn't make it.
All right, let's get off this. This has gone too stupid now and gross. But what are we talking now?
Cannibal Holocaust. You need to rank it. I can't.
Well, I mean, to put it in entertaining is seems wrong. So below entertaining, I would say.
Well,
even though the film is curiously
below entertaining is not my thing.
Well, it's not my thing. I wouldn't start going out and watching more cannibal films, but that film they made quite a lot of them during the 70s. And
yeah.
Cannibal Ferox or all that, but Cannibal Holocaust is actually okay, not badly produced, and it's got like really memorable music, but it's just unpalatable and just unpleasant, to say the least. So.
All right, here you go.
I don't know how anyone could have really been watching it and thinking this is like really shocking or anything like that, other than just watching it and thinking this is just sick. Really.
All right, where do you put David Cronenberg's The Fly?
I would actually say that's the masterpiece for me. Even though we're putting quite a few sort of like very mainstream films up there, but for its type of film, it is a masterpiece to me.
It's
David
really
Cronenberg. It's like perfect as just a piece of entertainment, and then it's just a great piece of filmmaking that doesn't kind of step down at all at the end. I can't even imagine a film coming out now that would be that sort of unpleasant at the end.
So
really.
When you say
that's a mainstream release, like
when you say it doesn't step down at the end, you mean that all throughout the movie keeps going, like it's good throughout. There's no spots in it where is that what you mean?
No, yeah, but like I mean, earlier in the film, for instance, he goes out and he's just wearing like a leather jacket with nothing underneath it. I mean, I do that quite a lot.
I thought you did that.
When he's like at his most high tea moment, when he becomes like so ultra strong and everything, and he arm wrestles that man, and then you see the bone come out of his arm.
Right.
Like at that point, you think, bloody hell, this film can't get any worse than this. It's not anymore. But it's like at the end, well, it does. So
I love the movie, and I don't know why one of the more memorable scenes. I know this is silly, but when he's talking to Gina Davis and he's eating a donut, and then he whatever puts the acid on. Oh, that's disgusting! I don't know why I always love that scene and the way he plays it. He's really good in it. Jeff Goldblum is, whatever you think of him, he's amazing in that movie. He's so good. You know what? That is a fucking masterpiece. You sold me on it.
Well, I don't know why anyone would think anything bad of Jeff Goldblum.
Well, right. I know he's become a bit of a caricature of himself at this point.
Well, he for sure wasn't then. I mean,
no.
You could say he was almost being a caricature in some sense, but I think at the same time it was sort of partly him, really. So. I mean, in that film, he's got a bit of a mullet,
Yeah. Well, it was his style.
And he's like in peak form, and he's running up steps at great speed, and also going out to some bar to pick up a prostitute or whatever, whilst just wearing a leather jacket with nothing underneath it. That is.
And Gina Davis, you forget she was a hot piece of ass back in the day. Okay. All right, we can do this.
What you mean when you're watching the many films that she doesn't make these days? I mean, she was in the Exorcist TV show, apparently. So.
Oh, was she? All right. Okay, how do you feel about the cabin in the woods?
Oh, you mean the one where it's like a kind of a game?
Yeah.
I won't go that far. I just put it 3.
Really good. Yeah, it is really good. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting much out of it, but I enjoyed the hell out of it, I have to say.
But don't just pick films that you think are good. All
right. Well, what do you want me to do? I'm going through them.
For some reason, Davrin's saying that Cannibal Holocaust is one rung below a masterpiece. I mean,
all right.
Jesus Christ.
He's allowed to have. The man's allowed to have his opinion. All right, here's a movie I know that you scared you and ruined Christmases for you for many years. The Gremlins.
Yeah.
A kid's movie and a Christmas movie where the girl tells a story about her father getting drunk and stuck in the fucking chimney and wasting away and dying in the chimney as to why she doesn't like Christmas. And when she first tells the actor, I don't like Christmas, he goes, what are you, Muslim or something? Do you remember that scene? But it's a very good movie. You can't.
Oh, you mean Zach Galligan or the guy?
Yeah, right. He's walking with Phoebe Cates. She goes, "I hate Christmas." He goes, "What are you, Muslim or something like that?" She tells him that yeah, her father died in the chimney. And I mean, I saw this movie as a child. I don't know that I would let children watch it.
Doesn't really look that Muslim, but yeah, I mean, I suppose.
Yeah, well, she could be a convert, but that's his question to her. That's what Steven Spielberg or whoever wrote the film. I forget who did Spielberg write that? I don't know. Whatever. That was in the script. They'd never put that line in the script nowadays. That's for damn sure. But it's
So,
near perfect. I wouldn't call it.
I think he wrote the idea for it or something like that. The original concept. I would put that as a masterpiece.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you? All right. Does anybody else? I have it as near perfect. James has it as a masterpiece. Does anyone have an opinion on Gremlins that they want to break the tie? Yes or no? Quickly.
I think it's a bit too mainstream for most people's sort of to be too bothered about. But
it's a tremendous film. I mean, it's hard to dispute that, but I don't know if I would go the step of calling it a masterpiece. Let's see what else is interesting here. All right, let's do this.
Well, is that Get Out?
Get Out. It's entertaining.
I would put Get Out above. I'll put it just above that, alongside it.
That really good. Okay.
I know you want to put it as a masterpiece, but
I just think it was. I guess it's more really good than entertaining. Okay, I wouldn't go any further than that, though. The Mist. Excellent film.
Well, I would just put that as entertaining.
Oof. Okay, we'll have to compromise it really good then.
Sorry,
no, I mean it's well done. Okay, let's see here. Anything else interesting? Where the fuck is The Exorcist? How come I don't see that? All right, Jaws is a masterpiece. That's not even going to warrant any discussion, quite honestly. I mean, few people would be disputing that it's a masterpiece, I would think. Don't you agree? There's just nothing to say about it, really. Oh, here's a good one to discuss. The Ring. Starring Naomi Watts. Peak Naomi Watts. Super hot. Playing a scared mother. I'm going to go near perfect for this must-see.
That was actually written on the video, it said super hot Naomi Watts.
Peak Naomi Watts, everybody.
It excels in this supernatural thriller based off of a Japanese horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put that as a masterpiece.
It's tough not to now that I'm thinking about it.
I'm joking. For God's sake!
Oh, come on! It's you didn't think it was really good.
It's a remake. It's a remake of a Japanese film.
And what of it?
It's very well done, but I don't think it's fair to start calling that a masterpiece because it's
all right.
not.
That's why I put it as near perfect. That's fine. I'm not gonna. I can't go less than near perfect though. I'm sorry. It's really well done. Sets a mood. It's shot on that with that blue filter type thing. It's just really and it's scary, quite honestly.
It is
yes,
good. I really think it's a good film, but I think, especially if you watch The Ring 2, the sequel to it, it's that just shows how good it was, because the second one is a bit disappointing.
So I know you're going to be biased about this movie because it has a shirtless fella playing saxophone. The Lost Boys.
Yeah. That second category.
Yeah.
What does it say? I can't read it.
What do you mean? That's near perfect must see.
Well, I would put Lost Boys below that, frankly.
To really good. Okay.
Yeah, really good.
The gay community has adopted that film with a lot of gay undertones in it.
I don't want to be too realistic, because I think The Lost Boys is a good film for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's its cheesiness is like it dates it quite a bit, perhaps, and it's like sometimes it feels like it's creating a mood, and then it just becomes just frenzied, frenetic, a bit like say the Goonies or something.
I get it. All right, where do you put Rosemary's Baby by Mr. Roman Polanski, disgraced Roman Polanski?
For me, I would put it as a masterpiece.
You have to, right? You kind of have to. It's a tremendous film. Okay. What is Silence of the Lambs? Whatever. Okay, I've actually seen it referred to as horror before. It's not horror. But yeah, it's a very good film. Near perfect, I'd say. I mean, but
Well,
if somebody,
no, if you're going to have Rosemary's Baby, you've got to put Silence of the Lambs as a masterpiece.
I can't.
Well.
I won't argue with you. I won't argue with you.
Because I mean, in terms of films that are just perfectly made,
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Rosemary's Baby is not a boring film. Indeed, come on.
All right. What about Rob Zombie's
Maybe
House
if
of
you're 18, I don't know.
Okay, what about Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses? I love this movie.
I've never even seen it. So.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's really good. I'm not going to say it's near perfect or anything like that, but it's really good in my opinion. So you should go see that. Come on, House of a Thousand Corpses. What's with you, man?
I should go and see it.
Oh, well.
What, it's on at the cinema now?
All right, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Cloverfield. The original Cloverfield.
Well, again, it's not a horror film.
It's a monster film. Monsters coming after him. They're running from a monster.
Well, I don't even have any opinion on that film, hardly. I can't barely remember it.
Okay, it's really good. It's really good. Okay. As long as we did Cloverfield, let's do 10 Cloverfield Lane with John Goodman. Also, really good movie in my opinion, although very, very disappointing to people because they were expecting a giant monster film. So was I, and I love giant monster films. But this was a good movie in my opinion. Really good. Had you seen that movie even?
Yeah, I saw it.
And what do you think of it?
I remember it as being pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it is good. All right.
John Goodman was very good.
He's good in everything, really. Let's see here. Anything else interesting?
Isn't Dawn of the Dead there? I know you've not seen it, but
I haven't. Which one is? Where is it? It's got to be there. I haven't seen it, but of course it's got to be there. Evil Dead 2. Well, I'll keep my eye open for it, but I'm not seeing it right now. But I'm sure it's there.
They're too busy putting things in like Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. And Midsommar as well. Midsommar horror film. How is Midsommar a horror film? I'm sorry, but
yeah. What would you call Midsommar? Really... It's more of a suspense type of thing.
A bit of a freak out movie.
And there is no supernatural component to it or anything, but there are people getting married. What do you think of Mother? Look at Jennifer Lawrence here. I like the movie, so I can't give it less than really good personally, but I agree, it's not a horror movie.
It's okay. I think Aronofsky sort of seems to put himself kind of almost impossible, give himself impossible trials to do in terms of making films and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't really enjoy Mother that much. I found it a bit just insufferable, kind of, somehow.
Yeah, I liked it. I avoided watching it because everybody said it was too violent, but it wasn't. Okay, I presume The Exorcist is a masterpiece in your mind. I mean, we've discussed that movie quite extensively on this show, so I imagine you think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You can't really say anything about that. More than what's already been said. Okay. Here we go. Josh's favorite film. The Shitting. All right, well, there's only one place for that. Unless Stavern is getting control of the list. Let's see here. Where is
I
Dawn
mean,
of the
but some of the films in this selection I can see really tiny. I can see like 13 ghosts.
Yes, that's in there. So is Watership fucking Down. I mean, they have some stupid things in this list. I mean, what do you want me to
It's
tell
one
you?
of the Matrix films though as well.
What is it? I mean, look. I mean, they got Requiem for a Dream. So I mean,
But just leave that. That's ridiculous. It's not a horror film. So. I mean, it does have it's
not a horror film
horrifying
on
at
any
times, but
level. It's not a horror film on any level. Well, and neither is Clockwork Orange. And you're right. I should have just left it because Clockwork Orange doesn't count for this list. I agree with you. I failed.
Well, we can't go back through it all now. Come on.
No, I'm not going to. Okay, what about the original Paranormal, the first Paranormal film? How do you feel about that?
Oh, you mean Paranormal
Paranormal Activity. Yeah.
Vin apparently liked these films for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Gary.
It's entertaining. That's it.
Yeah. Entertaining. Okay.
I mean, maybe better than entertaining because it's good for the kind of film it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Ignore the sequels. The first movie was very interesting and super low budget. And I love when a super
when one of them is called like Paranormal Entity 6, the Ghost Dimension. It's like Jesus Christ,
right?
The Ghost Dimension.
I love when a low budget film overperforms. I really do. Let's see here.
It really makes me.
Go ahead, get it all out.
Get ready first.
Evil Dead, Dawn of the. Where the fuck is Dawn of the Dead? I'm not seeing it. Huh? Why is World War Z on here? Like, yeah, there's a. I get it. People are just, Sleepy Hollow. Get the fuck out of here. That's not a horror movie. And very disappointing. Tim Burton really blew it. I thought he would do terrific with that personally, but he did not. All right. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. How do you feel about this? The original.
It's. I would put it up there near the top.
Mm-hmm.
As an effective sci-fi film.
Near perfect.
Yeah, okay. What it is. The remake was really good as well. So,
where do you put The Thing?
The John Carpenter one. Near the top as well.
Near perfect, right?
Sure.
Yeah, difficult to dispute that. Okay, how about Child's Play? Did you love Child's Play? Entertaining. That's just.
I think rating a lot. It's better than entertaining actually. Child's Play, the first one.
Okay, so you think it's really good then? All right. It was an original concept. Let's not take credit away from that. Let's be fair. It was an original concept at the time. It just became comical. He's got a bride of Chucky and all that kind of thing. It just became comical. All right. Well, we're getting into here's Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser, whatever. Okay, how about The Hills Have Eyes? Do you have any strong feelings?
The first Hellraiser, I think.
Okay, wait. Well, no. Here's Hills Have Eyes, both versions.
Is that the remake of Hills
well, both of them are next to each other.
I would say the remake is definitely entertaining, and I'm not sure if I've ever seen the first one properly. So,
me neither. Me neither. I haven't seen the original as well. All right. Let's see. Here's the Hellraisers. Let's see. Okay, Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2.
I'd put them as above entertaining. That's it.
Really good. Okay. Why am I not seeing Dawn of the Dead? Is it possible they didn't have it in there? All right, whatever. Okay, here we go. The Omen. Is that the original? I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. So unless you have any feelings about that.
If you've never seen The Omen, that's terrible. You really should watch that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I would say it's a masterpiece in terms of the quality of filmmaking.
Is that right?
But
No, I
yeah,
feel really
definitely.
bad about not seeing it. I do.
I mean, it's Richard Donner who went on to make all of the Lethal Weapon films. That he made The Omen. So,
Okay. I'll have to check it out. You know, it's something I might have seen, and I just don't remember I was watching The Omen at the time. I bet you. Let's see here.
It's easy to get confused between that film and Can't Buy Me Love. That film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the Damien the Omen with the little kid? That's Damien and all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then 100% I've seen it. Yeah, that's a fantastic film. See what I mean? I just forgot the title, but I've.
So I can't. There is Texas Chainsaw Massacre there, isn't there? Third up.
Third row. Okay.
Third up.
What does third up mean versus
third up from the bottom? I mean,
well, Jesus Christ! I mean, come on now. Third up from the bottom. You mean the third row from the bottom?
Well, like when you're the bottom row is the first one, then the second, then the third.
All right.
In the middle.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, that's a masterpiece, obviously. All right. The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. Now, people don't like this movie. I love this movie. This is a really good movie. I don't care what anyone says. I know people make fun of Adrian Brody's performance as the mentally disabled fella. And
why? What was I can't.
I mean, just it's some. I've heard people mock how bad he is at playing a mentally disabled person.
I couldn't even tell he was supposed to be mentally disabled.
Well,
I'm serious.
Now, I don't know if that's a tribute to his performance or the exact opposite. If you couldn't tell that he was mentally disabled,
Isn't he supposed to be more just like a bit of a village idiot? He's not supposed to be kind of completely.
Well, what's a village idiot? Yeah, he is certainly the village idiot, but it's because he's slow, at least. You know, I mean,
I vaguely remember it. Yeah, I mean, I saw him in a film this week called "See How They Run," where
refresh my memory on the plot of that.
It's just it's a sort of detective drama, really, a comedy for the most part, set in London. Saoirse Ronan, or however you say her name. It's got who else has it got in it? Well, anyway, it's worth seeing. It's just a good film if you want something that's fairly easygoing. I thought it was okay though.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, Mike, I agree that the ending was a bit lackluster. I mean, it turns out there was no supernatural thing to it, which I found disappointing as well.
Can you check if The Pope's Exorcist is available to?
No, sadly, it's not on the list yet, but it should be.
Apparently that film is just breaking box office records right now.
I don't know why you haven't gone to see it yet. I mean, this is your genre. You love exorcism films, you know, so... speaking of which, I saw it, The Exorcism of Emily, whatever her name is. What's that film? Yeah, how do you feel about that one?
That's a really quite more than entertaining film, I'd say. It goes above the kind of how good you think it might be. It's somewhat better than you might expect. Okay,
really good then. All right, I'll give it that. I don't know that there's anything especially interesting anymore to discuss here. I mean, there's Children of the Corn.
So you got Triple X with Vin Diesel?
No, sadly. God, I hate Vin Diesel. I can't stand that man. I hate's a strong word. I just don't respect his work whatsoever. I guess I respect his career arc, that he's managed so much success, but for some reason, the fact that he's getting paid for Guardians of the Galaxy rubs me the wrong way. It's just like, good God.
I always remember that film when he was first sort of on the scene, and isn't Ben Affleck as well the one Boiler Room where they're salesmen and stuff?
Yeah.
He was good. He was quite good in that as like an unlikable character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And he was, he had those Riddick movies, right?
Remember they didn't really interest. I saw only the first one, Pitch Black. That was okay, but the Fast and the Furious movies, Jesus, terrible.
Yeah, I'm not into these movies, but hey, there's a tremendous market for them. Obviously, I've only seen the first two of the Fast and the Furious, and neither of them did anything to blow me away. And I like a good Michael Bay movie. You know what I mean? But these movies are just not for me. These Fast and I just can't stand the dialogue. Is so fucking cringe in these Fast and Furious films. Like, good family, I live my life a quarter mile a minute. Like, get the fuck, get out of here with that shit. Seriously, Vin Diesel, fucker.
Well, you're saying that kind of thing is not realistic.
Yeah, to tell someone, hey man, I live my life a quarter mile a minute. That's a line. That's what you should put as on your dating profile. You know how you have a heading, like, hey, I'm a fun guy, or fun guy looking for love. Just put, I live my life a quarter mile a minute, and see what kind of reactions you get from a lady.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You know?
Well, I've heard that basically Mandela Man has actually said that he's already planning his next entrance into the cinema with his two brothers whilst high on LSD.
Oh.
Mushrooms.
Okay.
He'll be going to the new Fast and the Furious film.
Okay. All right. That doesn't seem like his style of movie, but yeah. All right. I mean, Alien is here. There's other movies we could discuss, but I feel like we've exhausted this exercise for the most part, unless you want to keep going for some reason.
Yeah, I think we've covered enough now. I think of all films to watch, I did rewatch Inglourious Basterds this week.
Did you? A war film?
I've never said that I'm specifically anti-war films, have I?
Yeah, you have. You really hate
I watched
glorifying
all Fights on the Western Front.
Oh, did you? Okay, how'd you feel about that? Well, go ahead. Tell me your thoughts on Inglourious Basterds. It's a movie I've seen multiple times.
There's a lot about it I like, but I would say at the same time I'm slightly unsure if Tarantino kind of really knew what he was doing, or it even felt like he achieved what he was doing, what he wanted to do with it.
Can I tell you something? And I'm a Tarantino fan, and I'm a fan of that movie. There's two amazing scenes in that movie, and I'm sure you'll know which two those are, and the rest is very good to mediocre. Two amazing scenes. Obviously, the opening scene, right?
I think, but the main thing that's the most sort of alongside everybody in it, like his kind of, the guy who owns the house. I mean, it's Christopher Waltz, isn't it? He basically just
blows away,
steals the scene, and so the trouble is then in all the other scenes that he's in, he can't necessarily get to that level, perhaps I do really like where he gets to talk with the woman, owner of the cinema, and he recommends the apple tart with
in the restaurant.
That's a really good scene.
That's a really good scene. But there's two outstanding: the opening waltz scene, and then the pub scene, whatever you want to call it, the scene in the bar or the pub, whatever.
And then the cellar.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell for Englishmen who waste good scotch. That's a tremendous scene as well. Who is that actor, by the way?
You mean the one who played David in Prometheus?
That is Michael Fassbender, then. Okay.
Yeah.
No wonder he's so good in it. All right, that's an amazing scene as well.
Yeah, but he's just killed off. It's like, the thing is, he totally commands the film from the part where he's in it. He's in it before that, isn't he? But then and then he's just killed off. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's not dissimilar to Pulp Fiction, for instance. That kind of same style of different episodic storylines sort of spread around. Yeah, basically.
Not as good. Not quite as good. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not as effective, or a lot of the scenes just aren't as good as Pulp Fiction. But
those two okay, so look at those two scenes are outstanding, and I'll put those up against any sequences in any movies. Quite honestly, they're really good. Then, like you said, the restaurant sequence where he's trying to tell her to try that whatever butter tart or whatever the hell it was, and then the rest of the film is like good, Mike D. Sadly, neither of us have seen Exorcist 2. And Midsommar is there, Gary. We didn't rank it because I don't want people to shit on Midsommar. I'm personally a big fan of Midsommar.
Exorcist 2? What do you mean? I've seen Exorcist 2.
Sorry, The Pope's Exorcist. Mike's asked if it's any good. And James has yet to go see it for some reason. I think he's against Russell Crowe doing an Italian accent. I'm the Pope's Exorcist. He's my boss, if you have a question. So...
Well, I did see someone commenting on it, saying, like, are we not sort of fed up with these possession films,
Jesus. No, it's a genre that will never go away. To me, these possession films and exorcisms, it's like saying, are we done with alien films, like movies about aliens? It's its own genre. It's never going to go away. People are always, or zombies, or vampires. It's its own genre.
Right, but it's all about the staging of it and everything to do with the depiction. Having CGI eyes flipping over, and then the voice of the guy from Ralph Ineson from The Office coming in and going, I own the boy now, all right. And all that. It's like, what are you doing?
I can't wait till it's available for video on demand. I will pay for that. I'll watch it right away. I'm not familiar with Eden Lake, Gary.
People have said the film's actually like a bromance between the priest and someone else.
And Finchy? All right, then. You're not such a bad fella after all.
Finchy's just doing the demon. So.
Oh, I thought maybe they made friends at the end. Maybe we're not so different after all.
But it just doesn't sit right. Like in the original Exorcist, they used an actress to do the possessed voice and then mixed it.
That's a woman's voice, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell. That's a woman saying that?
Mercedes McCambridge. She not normally had a deep voice and things, but anyway, it's just.
Yeah, I'll check it out, Gary. But so Davern, are his first three films his best films? I'd have a hard time disputing that with you, to be honest with you. I love Jackie Brown. I think it's fantastic. I don't know that those are masterpieces. You see, the problem is you rank Tarantino against himself, so it's difficult. But certainly, those first three are the best. It's kind of like Paul Thomas Anderson. He kind of, although I like his films after that, but those first few films he made, Boogie Nights.
Did you see Licorice Pizza?
I did. And it's the closest thing he's made that comes up with that.
That was entertaining, but it's like...
Yeah.
It's similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it's so slow-paced.
You know what? You're right.
It is sort of uneventful. It's like...
It's not as good as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that's a superior film, truthfully. And I love Paul Thomas Anderson. Like, I love... As I've said many times, Punch Drunk Love is one of my favorite movies. It's the best romantic movie I've ever seen. I love Magnolia. I appreciate There Will Be Blood. I don't think it's whatever. People love it. I appreciate it. I certainly think it's good. But then after that, he starts to fall off. The Master, I should give The Master another watch, but Inherent Vice was just not good.
No, The Master. I like The Master. It's good.
Yeah,
but
I have to give it another watch. Yeah, when you say the ending hits hard, though, Gary, is there some kind of fucked up shit that happens at the end, like some kind of like evil rape or some shit like that? I'm just not into that kind of thing. But yeah, I'll look into it though. Have you seen this film he's talking about?
You mean like the ending is basically like Derby Security Services descend on someone, and then it's just 5 hours of anal rape.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say no, that's not the ending.
Okay, good. Oh, it's an old.
I think you should give it a chance. I don't think it's quite sort of. I don't think it's quite what Gary might be suggesting to you, that it's some kind of really disturbing ending or anything like that.
All right, I'll check it out. I like Michael Fassbender.
He's talking more about like the way the plot weaves its way.
Jesus,
correctly.
Jesus Christ! Wow.
No, it's a pretty straightforward film, and that is Michael Fassbender in that, actually.
It is.
So, yeah. You really empathise with the couple in it, because they're like trying to just camp, and then these chaffs start, ruining everything with loud music and whatever.
Oh.
But you think to yourself,
funny games.
Yeah, it is. But you think to yourself, well, come on. I mean, there's this point where you just give up and say, I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to stick it out. If these twats are just going to like play this.
Yeah, okay. I'll check it out, because I like funny games. Funny games. And I've never seen the German version.
There's no rape in it, Gary assures us. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Gary.
That's interesting. I always remember that was something that people asked when I worked in a video shop. Is there any rape in this?
Or if you were a reviewer and you would start every review with, there is rape in this movie, or no rape in this movie, it would be a good way. It'd be like your calling card for your reviews, Or you could end it that way, whatever you prefer. Yeah, I'll check it out, because I love funny. Did you like Funny Games? How do you feel about that movie?
Well, it's a remake.
Yeah, I've not seen the German version.
They're both by the same director, though. So,
okay, so that's as true to the original as you can get. What do you think? Do you remember it?
I'd just like to say I totally disagree with Dava in it. I mean, possibly if you could empathise more with the situations in The Master, you might not feel like that. But it's not boring. To say a film's boring, that's just that's bad. That's a letdown,
That's how I felt about it, to be honest. But that's why I want to give it a chance. I just hate to say that, like, I enjoy his work. Like, I even like the Dressmaker movie, for God's sake. A fucking movie about a dressmaker. Phantom Thread.
What are you talking about, anyway? What are you talking about, sorry?
I was asking you about Funny Games, and you just keep ignoring me. What are your thoughts on Funny Games?
Yeah, it's very good. And the casting of the lads who harass them is great as well.
It creates such a tension, because they are scary, but you also feel like, just fucking punch those pieces of shit out. Like, the director does a brilliant job with it. So there you go. Yeah, so I like that kind of movie. So I will check out Eden Lake if it's.
But isn't like Tim Roth tied up for most of the?
He's beaten and taken care of. Well, they have to take him out, or else you'd think, why isn't this adult man just putting one of these kids in a headlock and, like, or Three Stooges style plonking their heads together,
Yeah, absolutely.
Naomi Watts is lovely in it. All right, I'll check out this film Fish Tank too, because people are. Have you seen this film Fish Tank?
Yeah, that's a sort of British film, low budget, kind of drama about a young girl who's growing up, in a rough place, and to be honest, yeah, the actress in it, she actually she got a role in EastEnders. And she'd had 2 children quite young, and she sort of seemed she looked a bit like she was like messing about with drugs the way she appeared on screen in EastEnders. But I mean, she was really kind of playing a role close to how she was, and in this as well, she's good in it. But yeah, the tabloids like plagued her a bit, because when she left EastEnders, she got a job in working as security for B&M.
Is that right?
Yeah, but the like tabloids took photos of her, and
because she had a regular job now.
Yeah, basically something like that.
All right.
Like from EastEnders to B&M. I remember talking to Josh about B&M, and he was a bit like snobbish about it as usual. German funny games is more effective just because the unknowns keep you off kilter more.
Unknowns because you don't understand the language?
He doesn't mean just that. He means, because of the actors are not known to you, so therefore you look at your TV screen and you think like, God, these people might actually just be real people living in this situation. Because I mean, when I saw the German one, I'm not even sure how much I've seen of it, or if I've seen all of it even. But I actually thought it was basically just CCTV footage.
Oh. There you go.
I says, when I went back to the video shop, I says, why are you just giving me somebody's CCTV footage in Germany?
These Germans on vacation. I'm not interested in that.
No. I don't know what Davry means about 3 hours of black and white footage without a single note of score.
I'm not familiar with what he's talking about.
He must be talking about... Well, he's definitely not talking about the orphanage. I don't know why Davrin says that the master was convoluted either. Self-indulgent, convoluted, boring. I don't know. What are you talking about? How is it self-indulgent or convoluted? The story itself was rather bare bones, I thought, and seemed to be...
Bare bones. It just... Again, I haven't seen it in a long time, and I don't disagree that convoluted sounds accurate, quite honestly. I mean, this isn't one of Davrin's out... It's just all over the place, and just the character development, as I recall, didn't feel right, or I don't know.
Again, I just didn't like the characters at all. So,
I mean, it's just I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's fantastic. My theory about unattractive.
No, but his character's certainly not likable, is he?
He's not supposed to be. But
I'm just saying, nobody in the film really is likable.
Yeah, he's such a tremendous performer. Like his small role in Punch Drunk Love is amazing. He's so very good in that. And of course,
that's certainly a lot more, lighthearted.
Right. Well, it's a romantic movie,
and kind of almost sort of wacky comedy at times.
Yeah, look, Punch Drunk Love is on my top 10 list for sure. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it. Yeah, I would agree with that, Dan Peake. I felt it was his least accessible.
No.
You don't agree that's his least accessible film?
No. Inherent Vice. How is that accessible?
Well, fair. Inherent Vice is almost unwatchable, I hate to say. Well, he really had a couple of stinkers there, didn't he? Huh. I was actually happy when I watched Licorice Pizza to say, okay, he's coming back around again. It's got some of the elements. I love Hard 8 2 Indie Phantom. I was happy with Licorice Pizza because, although, like you said, it was good, it was very good, but it's not great. But he started to bring back some of the elements as a filmmaker that I really enjoy about his work. And I will say that girl from Haim, she is a good actress. I have to give her credit, and not just because she's braless throughout much of the movie.
Well, I don't think that gives you that much of a thrill, surely. I mean, but the lead actor in it, is he actually Philip Seymour Hoffman's son?
Yeah, I was worried about that, him being a nepo baby, as they say.
He wasn't particularly. He was one of the weaker points of the film. I think the film felt very loose and very sort of like almost, hey, let's just film it like as we make it up and as it goes along, and it's kind of got that hazy feel to it. So, which is fine, but as the lead actor, I don't think he was especially anything remarkable.
Not at all.
Not really. He's just.
But
he feels like they just found someone like just did a loose audition and then just got him because he's like not your typical lead. And that's
right.
It.
So sometimes actors carry a bad script, and sometimes a good script and good direction and shooting can save mediocre acting, and he is in the latter on this movie. That kid. I hate to say he's a Depo baby, but whatever. I mean,
the film itself is pretty. The storyline is very much like just to put maybe a few short stories. I mean, to say that quite a lot of it centers around them trying to set up a business and they're selling waterbeds. I mean, this is hardly. But it had room to be a lot probably funnier and all that than it was even. I mean, it wasn't like outright hilarious, was it? And it's almost like Paul Thomas Anderson was almost playing with the idea of what is funny, especially with the the Chinese accent business.
Correct.
Because I was just sitting there watching that, and like nobody in the cinema was laughing. Not that it was busy, but like. Just, I don't know. It's just, I think Paul Thomas Anderson, he enjoys awkwardness, but it was just.
He has like the comedy in that film is that, and Bradley Cooper's character, and
yeah, I mean he was funny, when he was in the film, but like those bits of the film must, go to say I don't know, 15 minutes at the most. So
yeah, and they're not. Yeah, the way you describe it as loose, I think is accurate. That's a good.
Well, it's like anyone could make it up. Like, just okay, we're gonna have them driving a van, and then the van starts going backwards down a twisting kind of California lane or LA. Like, I mean, it's probably just near where you live. I imagine you saw that being filmed. You were like, "Oi, what's going on in there?
What's that truck?" Hey, and I ran out there. I saw Paul.
How come you ain't got a bra on?
That's a lot of nerve, Paul. I'm trying to get some work done here. It's the main plot line of the movie is his obsession with this girl and how she doesn't treat him well, and until he starts to
and also their age difference, which is never made clear. Like, but
right. Really that's it. That was not done well.
Because it doesn't really matter because she looks quite young anyway. So, and he looks older than his age. So,
right. When I was first watching, I'm like, is she like for what we call here senior in high school, and he's like a lower classman? But then it turns out she's supposed to be 28 years old or something like that. And then it takes him. Now there is a reality life lesson there, believe it or not. It takes him moving on and doing his own thing for her to finally start coming after him, and you know what I mean? Being into him, which is kind of the way it works, lads.
Yeah.
I
thought it was okay, but it's it feels like a film that's just been sort of put together over lockdown or something, but
I don't know. Again, it's another one I want to give another chance to because
it was.
No, oh, you're talking about Licorice Pizza. Okay, I thought you were talking about Inherent Vice now. Okay, because of Dan Peake's comment being highlighted.
Oh no,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I thought he was talking about Licorice Pizza. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I didn't. Licorice Pizza I liked a lot more than Inherent Vice, but yeah.
Yeah, again, there's elements of what you love about Paul Thomas Anderson in that film, in Licorice Pizza. I mean, whereas you don't see those so much in Inherent Vice.
Well, it's kind of hard to understand why he doesn't make another film like Punch Drunk Love. So,
or Magnolia. Well, he doesn't. Hey,
yeah, I think the thing with Magnolia is it's very heartfelt, isn't it? For want of a better word, I mean, it's
emotional.
It's wearing its heart on its sleeve, like with the Amy Mann music. Like I remember, I actually bought that album, or an album from Magnolia or Amy Mann. I can't remember, and it was like But I mean, her music in that film goes throughout it, and it's just really
well done. Yeah,
really well done, really well done.
And well incorporated into the movie, like a masterclass in how to incorporate a soundtrack into a movie. Like the songs become a part of the movie in a good way. Not in a
well, it even has Tom Cruise singing to the music, which I think is very effective. I do think some of Tom Cruise's performance in that film is also probably his best work.
Interesting.
Definitely. He would agree with me, because he actually said when he was on set, I'm actually playing myself here.
Mm. Did he? I didn't know that he was that type.
No.
I didn't think he would. Mandela Man is probably sleeping, Phantom Cooper, because
no, but I think there is some point. There is quite a bit of him in that Frank Mackey. I remember the name. How can you forget it?
Yeah, right. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so hopefully,
I think Paul Thomas Anderson, no doubt, has been hit by the death of Philip Seymour Hoffman. Really, and that. Not that I'm saying that this has had some major effect on all his films, but because after all, he was using his son. So,
yeah, that was an interesting choice. Indie Phantom, I really want to see Beau's Afraid, the new Ari Aster movie. Do you know who that's the guy who made Hereditary and Midsummer?
Yeah, we knew that. Okay.
Did you know that? I didn't know if you know who Ari Aster was.
I do know that now. Yeah.
You don't have the film expertise that I do.
I actually watched Midsummer recently, and it said at the start an Ari Aster film or something, and I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Took a note of that, wrote it down, and then woke up 15 hours later after having 4 cans of Carlin, and
again
couldn't remember what I'd written, and one of the cans had spilt all over it. So
so that Beau's Afraid movie, so it's open this weekend. It has 68% from critics, 74% from audience. The original trailer, we watched it on this show.
A bit divisive, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, 74 and 68. The trailer.
I mean, come on, you can't keep going on Rotten Tomatoes when it's only been out a week or even less. I mean, that is just give the film a chance.
It has no effect on my rating of the film or whether I'll see it or not. I give it. I still don't completely discount it. I understand all the issues with Rotten Tomatoes, and I agree with those problems, but I'm not going to disregard it completely. So the trailer we watched, I don't know if you remember, it just seemed like the movie was just out there. I didn't understand what it was, but then I saw a clip from it. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and let me find it. Because it just completely gave me a different impression of the film. Actually, I'm glad that Phantom Cooper brought this up because I wanted to show this to you. Fuck, I gotta start liking the tweets that I want to share on this goddamn show. For fuck's sake. God damn it.
Yeah, remember, I always like all of my tweets and then leave offensive comments after them. So.
Where is that clip?
So I've got a double, guarantee of not losing them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish watching Beef yet?
No, I haven't, but I intend to. I do like the show. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I watched that one all in one go almost.
Oh,
Well, not
wow. So
one
you really
go,
liked it. That's not, wow, you must have really enjoyed it.
I did. I did like the ending particularly. I mean, I found Hair character a bit annoying, but I mean that's kind of what she was
Sexist.
supposed to be. So no, I mean the actress. She's like one of these, comedians who's become an actress.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he was a far superior actor than she was, to be honest. So, did you see the bit where she took a photo of her ass?
No, I haven't gone there, but that's going to make me tingle downstairs. I like
Not
eyes of
naked,
women.
not naked.
Oh. Well, then what's the
Obviously,
point?
just for like when you do like, I mean, we've all been there. Like when you're writing to someone, you just put like, "Hey, here's my ass."
Okay, here it is. All right.
When you flirted.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your methodology, I know. All right, I'm going to share my screen here in just a second here. Okay. We're going to have to pause.
Doesn't the trailer have like the much used Supertramp song, "Goodbye Stranger," which was of course
it
used.
just seemed
That
like
was used in Magnolia. So,
yeah, it was just put my screen up for fuck's sake. It just seems like it was just all over the place, the trailer, and then I saw this, and it kind of changed what I thought the movie was about. And I thought, because the trailer just makes it look like some kind of like surrealist thing. It didn't seem like anything. But anyway, we'll let's watch this, but we'll have to stop and pause quite a bit.
Am I dead?
No.
Can you hear that?
yeah, it says, "Am I dead?"
You've been healing so quickly. And no organs were hit, and your bleeding was really mild.
What
This is a room in our house, but it's your home for as long as you need. My name's Grace. Oh, this is Roger. This is
So obviously he's injured and he's in somebody's home, right?
Well, Ari Aster is always very attentive to like different visual effects and things like the the chimes that are hanging up out on the window or whatever are glimmering, aren't they, and reflecting, and that's reflecting back into the lens on this and stuff. So
Oh,
my husband.
Hey, Kai. Welcome back. Thought you'd sleep in, huh?
Roger's a very respected surgeon. He's the one who dressed and treated your wounds.
You're a lucky man.
so you see now he's got this monitor on his leg here. It's giving me the vibes of a Misery type of thing situation, like he's trapped in these people's houses or something like that, which you didn't get from the first. Which that is
why? But this guy has got like some kind of mental issue where he's got agoraphobia or something, hasn't he? Or
I don't know.
That's what the trailer suggested. Or like as soon as he went outside, he became overwhelmed with anxiety.
And he got hit by a car, and he's got this. Okay,
but why they've put it on him then?
Yeah, he's out here. He's about to ask him what that is.
What is this?
That's my little assistant health monitor. Keeps track of your condition.
Now he's told him it's a health monitor, but I think it's obviously supposed to be a tracking device.
Well, it's like they put them on people here who are,
criminals. Yeah.
An ankle.
Yeah, it's an ankle monitor. Like, so
monitor
if you leave your house after 7 p.m. or beyond a certain radius, it goes off and the cops come and get you. So this was not communicated in any way in the first trailer, as I recall.
Yeah, but why is he sleeping in their young daughter's bedroom?
I'm speculating, but it gives me a vibe like a Misery thing. Like maybe this guy hit him. Instead of taking him to the hospital for some reason, he's taking him home and he's treating him. Something like that. Like
the way the trailer was, going, it suggested that this was a sort of a wacky, spaced out comedy in some sense, but this doesn't give that impression at all.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's more like a Misery type of situation. So, do you know the film Misery?
Yes. by Rob Reiner, who he's one. He used to be one of my favorite directors. You know, when he was making a lot of films.
Really?
And yeah, apart from that one where he made in it, it was like a young kid. It was the main character, but I can't remember.
Okay. Anyway, so this trailer makes me think it's completely different from what I've seen. This seems like more of what you would expect from an Ari Aster film.
Well, it's like an under. It's sort of got this undercurrent of some kind of tension, you know, something a bit odd going off, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and yeah,
amidst this sort of very ordinary seeming room and all that kind of thing.
yeah.
You know, my bedroom actually looks the same as that.
That is your decorating
Funnily
style,
enough.
isn't it? Yeah. The
Yes,
kitty cats and the unicorn stuffed animals around and stuff. Yeah, I could see that.
it just makes me feel happy.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Indie Phantom. I'm actually look. I was anticipating Ari Aster's next movie anyway, just because I enjoy those first two films of his so much. And then when I saw that Joaquin Phoenix was attached, I was like, "Oh shit, this could be really something." Then I saw the trailer. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Now I'm seeing this, and it's bringing me back along. So I am very much excited to see this film.
But I mean, come on, you've got to. If you watch something like Midsummer, that was a bit, as a film, really, it was a bit what the f. I mean, actually, I've watched the 3-hour version of that, and it's best compared to the 2.5 or whatever one.
Okay.
But
I don't know which one I saw. Now I'm angry if I haven't seen the 3-hour version. That angers me.
I hope I'm not talking absolute bullshit about that. But I'm pretty
No.
sure.
Now that you mention it, I feel like this has been brought up before by somebody.
And I can't remember where I watched it even, because did Netflix have the 3-hour version on one? Because now the Netflix one now is 2 hours 30 or whatever, and I don't know if I'm presuming the longer version. That's the one that shows more of the women touching his ass and going, "Oh yeah." It shows more of that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's a tremendous scene. I'd very much like to experience something like that, being cheered on by many women as I made sex on another woman.
After you've been given various potent drinks and things.
No, I don't want any hallucinogenics involved. No,
but they had to give him things to be max,
virile, yeah,
stimulated, and ready to get pumping.
I would just like the idea of women of legal age, of varying ages, all legal, of course, watching me make sex on a woman.
So women of Phantom Cooper age onwards.
As long as it's legal.
Phantom Cooper, like I said, I saw her in the mall last week and had a T-shirt saying "I'm legal."
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is. I used to think he was just okay, but he's really grown into. He really is a legitimate actor. I used to think he was like a pretentious type, but he's actually quite good. And his performance in Joker, even though all the people who criticize Joker, his performance in Joker actually stayed with me after I watched the film. So that was very impressive.
He's nearly up there with Russell Crowe for you. Star of the Pope's Exorcist.
You can't reach those heights, and Unhinged, of course. Performance in Unhinged is really something else.
Russell's recent comment was, "I'm not going to be in the new Gladiator, all right, but I don't give a fuck. I'm in the Pope's Exorcist.
I played Zeus in the Marvel movies. What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah, that's right.
He wasn't in it very much, and he was kind of comical. I'm not familiar with this movie, End of Evangelion. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Let me look it up, see what the fuck it is.
I think it's been mentioned quite a lot. It's a Japanese animated thing. So we have quite a few hardcore anime
fans and
films, fans and film fans.
Yep.
And that's all right. I don't hold it against them.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
No, I mean, if you go back to films that would be seen as masterpieces in that coming from anime, there's probably the first you could watch is something like Akira. So that's
People
certainly
love
of
that.
interest.
People
You must have heard of Akira.
Of course I have. I mean, I've not seen it, but I know people consider it to be a masterpiece, actually. Okay, so it's getting mixed reviews.
What is?
Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid.
No.
Well, anyway, it's bound to. I mean, it doesn't look exactly sort of, like an average film, does it?
What do you mean you were scared?
Yeah, sometimes you're scared for something.
What are you talking
sudden
about?
Accident or something. You drink the grandson's pee, and it's gonna help you.
I don't understand. Why
that
does
from
it
the
help
film?
you if you drink your grandson's pee?
That's what they say. Yeah.
No,
My grandma.
this person's tweet is
Your
Long
grandma
time
said
ago, yeah.
you drink
saw
your
that.
grandson's
Yeah, I
pee if
saw.
you get scared.
Not grandsons, any little kid.
Have you drank your grandson?
This person is saying that this is that Beau's Afraid is a full length version of that scene for some reason.
Well, that'll be okay with me.
Yeah, would it? Okay, good.
Yeah, I can imagine it like that, to be honest.
Here's this guy strutting into my Beau's Afraid screening, knowing it's going to be self-indulgent wankery that I'll most likely lap up like a thirsty mutt. All right.
What guy?
I don't know. This guy here on Twitter, he's just some jackass. I mean,
No, I know, but the clip, what is it?
Hang on, this is Joaquin Phoenix introducing it.
Thanks so much for being here, sir. Here's these guys that are tripping. Thanks so much for being here, sir. Here's these guys that are tripping.
Jesus. If this is like a drug, like this is for Mandela Man and his brothers to go see. One of these.
What the hell was that? It looked like there's no one in the audience. And
well, who knows?
Joaquin was in his like, I'm going to dress like a homeless person and act like one.
Well, this could be a very look. This is like probably for industry insiders and wankers and that kind of thing, I mean, that they have that they're seeing a version where Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, I'm a wanker.
Well, you weren't invited to the screening, unfortunately.
It's not very nice, is it?
Let's see.
I'm visiting my mother tomorrow.
If the last time you were thirsty, you went to a well and the water made you sick, are you going to go back to that specific well expecting it to be safe?
What, was he wanking in that last bit?
I don't. Yes.
When he went, oh, it looked like he was masturbating. All right, that's enough now. We're going to ruin the film for ourselves.
No, I know these little. This look is this a look?
No, look at his arms. He's moving his arms. He was masturbating.
Ooh, somebody's caught him.
Watch the whole clip.
Well, he's really animated. This woman's caught him doing that. Is that it?
He was masturbating.
Well, I think he was more crawling away in fear.
That's what this film's going to be like. It's going to have that kind of stuff in it. It's obvious. Beau is afraid. Beau is wanking.
All right, this person's put up. Here's movies I would compare to Beau is Afraid. Lost Highway. Bing, 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 bing.
All right, yeah, but we're ruining it for ourselves now.
What is this film? Do you recognize this?
The third one.
Oh, I'm thinking of Ending Things.
That was a TV thing. I've watched that.
Okay. After Hours, everybody knows what that is. And what is that? Shiva Baby? Okay. All right. Well, we don't know who this person is. They could have zero credibility as far
I
as
know
I'm
that
concerned.
Shiva Baby's a fairly recent film. Gary got it on Blu-ray.
Is that right?
The female actress in it, she's also in Bodies, 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 which is quite a good laugh if you want a film to watch. Featuring young females.
All right, let's see what Ari Aster says. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on, guys.
Oh, God, okay. I should have thought of this before. Take your time, take your time. Oh, God, okay. Oh, this is tough. I'm so bad at lists.
What is this shit?
All right, let's go.
This is at the premiere of Beau's Afraid. They're asking the cast their 4 favorite movies. I don't know why they're presenting it so frenetically.
Oh, that's the guy who
from
Colin
David
Farrell played in the Batman.
Right.
Like, why not just get him?
I'm sure he's angry, and he's actually getting a TV series out of it.
I know. They made it. Already.
Yeah.
Dr. Strangelove. Songs from the Second Floor.
Singing in the Rain. I love Singing in the Rain.
Cabaret.
The movie Opening Night. Blue Velvet by David Lynch.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Beautiful film.
Goodfellas. The Shining.
I love Xavier Dolan's Lawrence Anyways.
Fanny and Alexander.
Number 2, Hereditary. I'd say The Shining is probably is really up there.
Did I say Godfather? Probably Godfather 1 and 2 together because I can't separate them.
My Girl, because sentimental.
Jesus Christ.
Baby Driver. I love Edgar Wright.
Lion.
Miranda July's Me, You, Everyone We Know.
No, I haven't mentioned The Apartment. You know a movie?
Sorry?
Me, You, and Everyone We Know. That film is really good.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
You should watch it. You'd find it really funny, I think.
I love is a film by Ima Mura called The Profound Desire of the Gods.
I love Back to the Future. I'm like a geek.
Lawrence of Arabia.
No, I saw this French film that I really loved recently called France. Up, the Pixar movie.
I hate to say this because it's cliched. It's a Wonderful Life really is a great film that meets me halfway. It's a great movie.
Shutter Island.
Who is this very feminine-looking actor? Are you familiar?
I don't. He's like in the film.
I presume so. This is the kind of outfit you should be wearing, James. This and the Jeff Goldblum leather jacket on Another Night. Like, you know, these are the kind
of... like the fake tan, you mean?
You have to go get that fake tan. To complete
the look. He looks like a spray-on tan. He's like... I thought he was like a young boy in the... I saw him in the posters. There's pictures of his face and of Joaquin Phoenix. Mm-hmm. But he's like, obviously... I don't know how old he is. He could be early 20s or something, but...
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know who he is. But don't start getting angry towards him, please.
I don't know. Gary says he looks super gay. I have to agree with that, but that just could be this generation, how they look. Okay. He likes Shutter Island and he likes Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver. It's a good movie.
I love Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a great film. Goodfellas.
Ari Aster's Midsommar.
This is just wanking. I mean, I get it. He's the director of the movie you get to be in, but you don't have to put his movies up there as one of your 4 favorites. I mean, that's just...
Maybe she really likes it.
Yeah, okay.
One that I don't think gets enough love, which is Silence by...
So these are his top 4 movies. Songs from the Second Floor, not familiar.
Yeah, we'll talk about the level of like flipping highbrow, sort of like just excluding everyone else from his level of film appreciation. Silence is by Scorsese, but like many people, I've not seen it.
Scorsese.
Whiplash. I love Whiplash. I'm also a big documentary fan. Like Grey Gardens is one of my favorite movies. Oh, I've been obsessed with The Breakfast Club recently.
Grand Budapest Hotel. I love Wes Anderson. I think his films are beautiful.
Say Dead Man.
Oh, Spike Lee's Crooklyn.
All right, I can't take these people. We watch the video. God, jeez, I can't take
it. Just sounds like they say the same. Like most people, they're going to say the same. The films they've watched most recently, probably. Or
yeah, I mean, it's tough when someone asks you your top 4 films. I mean, I guess, but just you have to. At least she's being honest. She's not just trying to be pretentious. Like she said, stupid movies.
they've given themselves some time. They've given them some time to prepare these.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Well, if they
Probably.
prepare them, then they're assholes. Most of them. All right. Anyway, so
most of them are okay. You just don't like the young people's choices. Apart from her, she gave good.
These are good. All 4 of these films are, undeniably good.
Was that Ari Aster himself making the really obscure choices?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, it's not surprising, I suppose.
I mean,
he's gone right. Like Tarantino said, Ari Aster's recently gone so far up his own asshole. It's unbelievable.
Did he really?
No, I'm joking. That's what he said about Lynch.
Oh, right. I was going to say, does
92. None of them said Cannibal Holocaust, as Gary points out. I mean, that would have just pop that in all the time, and you're bound to get a good reaction. I think
Ari Aster's definitely seen.
Ari Aster's favorite top 4 films: Cannibal Holocaust, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Clockwork Orange, and The Accused with Jodie Foster.
Ron Perlman is such a fucking annoying bastard. All right, there was another video I wanted to show.
What's he done now?
It's just Elon Musk has made a mistake with this blue checkmark thing on Twitter, making people pay. I think.
Yeah, but have you not seen Twitter like the way it's set out now? It's like as if he's trying to make it deliberately annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why he does that. Yeah, I don't agree with the way he's handled it. But look at Ron Perlman. Just for the record, I have not subscribed to Twitter Blue, nor will I ever. Dear Elon, creepy people do creepy things. Best regards, Ron. Like, shut up, Ron Perlman. I mean, he's just a dummy if you listen to him with his stupid rants. Such a fucking dummy.
Well, let's face it, Elon Musk is a little bit creepy.
He's odd. There's no question about that. Let's see here. There was something else I wanted to show you.
But anyway, this whole Twitter thing just seems like a farce.
Yeah, he made a mistake. I'm not going to say he didn't. That's a mistake. Okay.
I don't even know about this SpaceX rocket, but apparently somebody's writing. Oh, Phantom Cooper's talking about it crashing. Where was it supposed to even go? What was the point of the rocket?
Whatever. I'm not sure. He launches rockets, but it failed. They destroyed it before it got too out of hand. But it was a failure.
All I heard is that Elon Musk, he said to his technicians, etc., I want it to land in Naomi Watts' garden because I've heard she's single and I'm interested.
Mm-hmm.
And he put inside the rocket, he put a collection of VHS classics, including Cannibal Holocaust. I mean, why would that not make a
it's an interesting way to woo a film, a woman,
a Hollywood starlet.
What is this clip?
Witnesses, they took away. I recognize your face. You got the wrong man, lady. Why don't know him? And I wasn't where he was tonight.
Is that Matt Berry singing?
What is this?
Matt Berry tweeted it. I have no idea what it is.
Is that from what film is it? It looks like some kind
of
70s or
musical or something. Oh boy, here's some English people going at it. Let's see what's going on. Some football hooligans, as you people call them. Jesus Christ, what's going on? All right, that's enough of that. These people just go to these This is after.
What is it even? It's like lads jumping on other people's shoulders and going.
It says chaos in England after an Atherstone ball game. So,
that clip was from Jesus Christ Superstar. Thank you, Millie.
Oh, okay. There we go. I only know the title track, of course.
Jesus Christ Superstar. What will you do when you've got my heart? I just made those lyrics up. Well, I don't even know what you're looking at now.
No, I'm looking for something I wanted to get your reaction to, but I can't find it. So, again, my mistake for not. I gotta do better about that. I see things that I'm like, oh, people will want James's reaction to this video, but I have failed you. I have failed everybody. I'm sorry. I let y'all down.
Don't worry. I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just yeah. Just looking for something. Sorry.
Okay, me too. I've not been up quite yet.
Ginger DJ.
Du kollar. Är han naken?
What are you looking at now? What's going on?
No. People get out of hand in the English out of hand in your streets, I guess. I'm sorry, I can't find it. I give up. I should give it. That's enough.
I think we should just appreciate some good music for a moment before looking at all this trash on some dodgy website, Twitter. Let me just watch, I think this will put you in the right mood. This guy. Can you hear it?
Yes.
We are together tonight, yeah. This is the beat that rocks your feet. So let's get busy. I searched for love before, for a love that I thought I couldn't find. I searched day in and day out for the one that was mine, all mine.
Who's that? Princess Diana.
Around with love before. I was foolish, and you know that I played the fool. But then you came into my life and you changed that. Now I know what I want and where it's at. With you, I found love. Somebody to treat me right. Since I found you, I'm in love with you. Are you ready? Everybody in the house tonight and everybody across the nation, whoever you are, wherever you are, I want to hear you sing to me tonight. Are you ready? Everybody in the house, here we go, here we go, here we go. Everybody, are you ready? Let me hear you singing. Tell me, what have you found? The sun rises on your face.
Princess Diana there in the audience.
Is not, is it?
It is.
Picture that's so bright, you're my delight. I'm and that's why I love you so. Are you ready? This time, I want to hear you sing louder than the last time. I want everybody to join together and make more noise you've ever made before. Everybody, sing to me louder than loud, larger than large, and broader than Broadway. Are you ready? Let me hear you singing.
Was this a hit on your charts over there?
Massive hit.
Everybody in the house tonight, sing to me. Are you ready? You what?
Don't make it slower. What the?
You are. Say it again. You are. We are together tonight. Everybody, just keep moving to the groove. Whoever you are, wherever you are. With me, everybody. This is dedicated to you. You are.
This looks like the bar that Dahmer went to in that TV show on Netflix.
What have you found? And I see that he's singing. Tell me, what have you found?
That's Princess Diana, look. Princess Diana.
I don't know her well enough to know that that's not her. So if you're making a joke, I won't know if it's a joke.
That is Princess Diana in this video.
Wow. Well, so he obviously had some influence if he was able to get her in the video. And you're mocking this dead man.
I'm not mocking anyone. I'm actually celebrating him.
Okay. He got a perm. That is not his natural hair curls, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but broader than Broadway, correct?
Yeah, put a real smile on your face, so that's a positive.
It really did.
That's what's important.
Definitely. Yeah, that's Steve Walsh. And Lemmy would play that video, the Scottish comedian, and he'd say, you can't get any more ginger than that.
Mm. I do like when he makes fun of James Corden, that Lemmy, I will say, because James Corden...
Oh, have you watched some of those?
Yeah, I have. It's just, he is insufferable.
Have you seen the one where it's basically James Corden singing with Coldplay?
No. Get that.
And
I'd like to see that, yeah.
He points out even the smallest things like the leg action. Kind of. Now, James Corden sort of changes his pronunciation of the song a bit. Lenny. Right. No, he's actually singing Nothing Compares to You of all songs.
With Coldplay?
Mm.
Interesting.
Just setting himself an impossible task.
Anyway, I wanted to say, somebody asked about Mandela Man earlier. He is asleep, I would presume, because if he was awake, he would be contacting us.
He'd be in the chat, or he would have messaged me on Facebook or something.
He keeps a very strange schedule.
Here we go.
I mean, this isn't real. This is like CGI and all that, isn't it? This isn't actually happening.
Hello.
I mean, this isn't real.
Thanks for letting me back in the band, guys. I appreciate it.
Right, bit of banter.
A fan.
Do you think you'd be as good as this if you were singing with Coldplay?
My being here, I'll never ever forget it. Truly. Here we go, man.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's been 7 hours since 15 days.
Look at the look on his face.
Laugh away, laugh away.
I got
See, if I was way, I'm not saying he's a bad singer or anything. You know, I'm not listening to his voice and going, "Oh, he's a bad singer." I think it's fucking typically annoying of this cunt that he is a good singer. It's typically annoying.
See that?
See that there? Look
with the leg.
Oh, I hate that. Did he do the bob? Did he do the bob? You know, you sort of stick your foot out and go. Did he do that? You know, do you know what I would love if he did the tear thing? You know, if he did the kind of Sinead O'Connor tear thing. Oh, please. He's got to wipe away, you know, a fake sort of tear, you know, like, please.
Oh, man.
Please. Can he stop doing that fucking foot up thing, man? Can he stop doing that with your fucking foot?
That's what he hates the most.
Just the lads. Just the lads, you know. Any tears?
All the flowers that you planted, baby, in the backyard.
Is it all Mama? Is it all Mama? Mama? Oh, the flowers, baby, Mama. Like that. Was this recent or 2016?
It sounds awful, like.
See, imagine you went there with somebody, and after it went like, I've got to say, he's really, really good. I would never speak to that person again. I'd never speak to them. I would ghost the fuck out of them. And they would say to me like 20 years later when I next bump into them, did you not think he was a good singer? No, I thought he's a good singer. Then what's your problem? You just don't get it, don't you know? That's what I would say. You just don't get it. You just don't. It's like fucking Dr. Evil. You just don't get it. Yeah, please. Tears.
Voice is all over the place.
Tears, maybe. Bastard. Typically annoying of him to no do what I wanted him to do for this stream.
Cool. Yeah, why doesn't he fall down a hole like Gemma Collins did? Gemma Collins, the legend.
He seems when the videos I've seen, I've not seen that one, but the videos where he discusses him, yeah, you've shown this before. We've seen it. He seems to have some genuine dislike of this man.
Oh,
what's this? She falls during a dancing on ice. She's like, oh, good for this woman. She's keeping her career
People
going.
think learning piano takes a really long time, but that's false. Here's how long it really takes with this new method.
It's not funny. Not funny. It's poor Gemma. I'm claustrophobic, Darren. You don't get it. I've got claustrophobia.
Poor woman.
Yeah, I mean, Corden, the thing is, he's got a good singing voice, but that was so over the top and like going from really high to low and everything. It's just, oh dear. If I went to a Coldplay concert and that happened, I'd ask them for my money back, definitely.
What clip with Patrick Stewart?
Oh no, I don't want to watch that.
What? Who's with Patrick Stewart?
Patrick Stewart and James Corden. It's so.
Please, I have to see this now.
Awful.
And Lemmy comments on it.
Probably does, yeah. on Corden's side. He kind of like supports.
What's going on between him and Patrick Stewart? They got into it?
It's quite a while back.
I could see your belly. Am I remembering it properly?
To James here. It is
Like he wasn't really as well known back then. Well, he was in this country.
The presenters are up here, and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You
He looks
couldn't be more
fucking
wrong.
steaming.
Genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
Ha 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 ha. I could see your belly.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly.
From where I was sitting, I could see your belly.
From where I was sitting, I can see your belly. And that was right over there at the back of the room. These people down here.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on.
Yes, get him on the fucking rope. I'm in Corden's sign here. Corden's fucking side here. Get him on the fucking ropes. Get this old fucking drunk cunt on the fucking ropes. I love Star Trek Next Generation and all the rest of it. Get him on the ropes, James.
Seriously.
There at the back of the room. These people down here.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. He wanted to know pay his writers or whatever the fuck it was, or no, people in placements or interns or apprenticeships. Yes, that. On that. Deserving of every criticism. Yes. Yes. But this cunt getting up and saying, from where I was sitting, I could see your back.
I've never seen this. Wow, Patrick Stewart, I'm disappointed in him.
One more. Oh, he must have loved hearing somebody go like, get on with it. Get on with it. He's looking to the side like, I know her. I know her.
But
Now, come on, that was pretty good there. James Corden doing that there. Look.
But
I mean, come on, that was good there.
But I would pay to see Sir Patrick Stewart dying on stage any day. So.
And for the people that haven't seen my belly, is there anyone who hasn't got a? It's just there. Okay, can we get a taxi ready, please?
Oh, you were actually fucking doing. I didn't. I forgot about that he said that. I don't even know if he said that. The taxi part. Oh no! Taxi for Stuart. Nurse, we've got him here.
Bit embarrassing that one.
Snatch defeat for the jaws of.
Because I really like Patrick Stewart, but he did come off kind of like a prick there.
Well, he was behaving like a bit rude, but you'd think that it just shows James Corden's insecurity, doesn't it? How he feels the need to kind of stand up for himself so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not really saying anything that bad. I mean, he does make fun of the fact that he's fat, yes.
He made a fat joke, yeah.
But
So
to be honest,
but
considering the age difference and everything, and like that sort of, how you're supposed to just respect old people, James Corden seemed to be very thin-skinned, so which doesn't really make any sense when he's made his career out of being the fact that he is, the roly-poly one. So up to that point, I don't know, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't start standing up to somebody like Patrick Stewart. I'd just kind of let them do their thing, you know.
No, you wouldn't. Come on. Especially if you're a comedian, you really. Here's the thing: was it?
Well, maybe in those situations, but the thing is with James Corden though, it's like okay, yeah, he's known as a comedian and all that, and an actor and stuff, but it just wasn't. It wasn't coming off as funny. It came off as actual insecurity,
anger, yeah,
and upset on his part towards Patrick Stewart. Who there's no relationship between those two. There's no reason why any of that had to. Patrick Stewart just probably felt like making fun of him. Clearly,
from the audience, I saw your belly.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense because you're not gonna, unless you're sitting right down at the front, like underneath the stage almost. You're not going to see his belly coming out of an unbuttoned shirt or whatever. Or I mean,
no, that was just Patrick Stewart saying, "Hey, fatty McFat, fatso." You know what I mean? Like that's what he came up with. I saw your.
Well, yeah,
belly.
especially from someone who's always been very like slim. It's just not good. But like it's clearly. When he said that Patrick Stewart was steaming, he means like. That's like English parlance. You probably don't understand.
No,
Josh,
I don't.
He has 3 cans of Carling or something steaming.
Oh, it means if he's drunk.
Well, yeah. If Josh has 2 cans of Carling, I would say that's steaming for him. Watch out,
Like when he was at that Tarantino thing, and as he was walking out, he yelled at the fella, "Oh, I remember the first night I've drank." Like that's a steaming type of comment from Josh.
That was on the edge. Or as Lady Gaga says, it's on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. It's on the edge of glory. No, it wasn't on the edge of glory. It was on the edge of being completely a dick.
Oh, I remember the first time I drank too.
Yeah, like as if Josh just like he's not old enough to be saying something like that.
Right.
That's one thing.
Well, just like he's a sophisticated drunk who can handle his alcohol.
The level of pretentiousness, it's just
it's really typical Josh pretentiousness, really, because like, oh, I drink, but I can handle me liquor. Unlike that fella.
Yeah, as long as it's like just a can or 2 of Carling.
Well, again, congratulations to Josh. He's had a great week of success. Sylvester Stallone on Instagram held up a copy of his model. Said, "Oh, some English twat made this for me. I really like it." And then Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses said, "That's really good. I'm going to put down my bottle of Jack Daniels and compliment Josh."
When did he play with them? With Guns N' Roses? The original incarnation?
Yeah, he's in the original version of them.
But not now. Or
I have no idea who's in the band.
No, when he made like Chinese Democracy had none of the original members of the band. So.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I don't know enough about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I heard that
of their history.
Well, I don't think there's not an immense history, is there, to know, really? It's just they just did like Appetite for Destruction, then Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
Excellent. Both of them are excellent.
Although at the time people didn't necessarily all think that.
Actually, that the Use Your Illusion. You're right. Many people did. That made me like Guns N' Roses. Use Your Illusion.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a difficult commercial thing to sort of like release 2 albums. Although weren't they sort of like months apart or something? I don't know. But yeah.
And it had the lovely what's her name? That beautiful English model. I loved her.
What in the video?
Was married to? Yeah. Who is she? She was in the Austin Powers films. Much older though. Who is that English model that he married? The Victoria's Secret model, the brunette. She's beautiful. Come on, somebody remind me. No. That was not Cindy Crawford. She was in
Well, she's American.
No, she's English. You for fun. Oh,
no, I'm saying Cindy Crawford is.
Yeah, hang on a second. God, what's her name? How can I forget? I was obsessed with her as a young man. Oh no, I'm all right.
What was that? Was that like auto tune or something?
Yeah, that's how good my voice is. I can make it sound like it's auto tuned. God, what's her name? What the fuck is wrong with me? I think he married her.
I like that song, November Rain.
Well, who doesn't? It's a nice song.
And the video.
Objectively a good... Oh, Stephanie Seymour.
I don't even remember who she is. I don't know that one. Who that come on.
Fucking hell. How do you not remember who Stephanie Seymour is?
Well, I probably knew who she was if I saw a picture.
But she's American. My God, what the hell's wrong with me? I'm confusing Stephanie Seymour with... Who's the gal who was in the Austin Powers movies? What was her name?
Oh, you mean... oh, my God, my brain's not working. Elizabeth
Hurley. I'm confusing Elizabeth... Yes, thank you, Indie Phantom. I'm confusing Elizabeth Hurley.
Not quite my area of expertise.
Yeah. What? She's English. You should know who Elizabeth Hurley is. I love Elizabeth Hurley.
No, I know her, but I just went blank on her a bit because she's not really been in the news. So, barely ever. Sometimes on the Daily Mail website, they'll have like I hope it's Elizabeth Hurley looking gorgeous in a bikini or something.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, or a few pre-pandemic, some shots of her on the beach in a bikini, like a really skimpy bikini with her son, were posted like it was something scandalous or something like that.
Oh yeah, you mean like? Well, the thing is, her son is a model, isn't he? And he looks like her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not scandalous, but they'll always say she looks exactly the same. Or like people can't change; they have to look exactly the same.
Right.
Otherwise, it's But it's anyway. The Daily Mail is just appalling, really. But it has a lot of celeb stuff in it that I seem to.
Yeah, you love that kind of stuff. And it's
It's
the newspaper of record for the English, is my understanding.
I don't really understand its connections, but it seems to be like just a daft tabloid. But then it has loads of celebrity news in from America. Seems to also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Indie Phantom. It was released in double cassette, and I bet you James would love to get his hands on a copy of that double cassette.
Oh, so both of the albums were released at the same time. Then it was literally a double album.
Yeah, I believe it was a double album. Were they released at the same time? I don't remember though.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I'm mentioning is that you could understand. With the massive success of Appetite for Destruction, that the record company would have wanted them to release it as two separate albums, with a year's gap at least or something. So,
and it was a different direction for them, quite honestly.
Well, I can't say, but is it not as like hard rock or something?
Yeah, well, it's less from the hair metal. They get away a bit from the hair metal. Yes, I should get with the program, Millie. I agree with you. And it just becomes more...
Which program is it?
I mean, I just think she means I'm off, so get with it. Like, don't...
Well, I'm not the one... I'm the one who's not with it because I didn't even know the name of Elizabeth Hurley.
No, I confused Elizabeth Hurley and Stephanie Seymour. Think about that. I mean, that's terrible. They're both gorgeous brunettes, but that's no excuse to confuse the two.
It's not as shameful as me not knowing who the name Elizabeth Hurley, though.
Elizabeth Hurley.
I just said Elizabeth.
Hurley.
For some reason, I think Millie's trying to mock me in make fun of me a bit by saying she's written different posts, one saying Hurley, then another one saying Elizabeth.
Yeah, just correcting you.
Just showing how fractured my mind is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a bit now like James Corden when he was singing that, Nothing Compares to You.
Not a big fan of Sinead O'Connor. I mean, that's a nice song, and she had another nice one, but not a big fan.
You don't like what she did with the picture of the Pope, or
whatever? I mean, I have no. I
What do you
remember
mean you don't like it?
The funny thing is that Andrew Dice Clay hosted the week after. He goes, "Oh, if I had been there when that bald-headed chick tore up the picture of the Pope, oh, like he would have done something." You know what I mean?
Well, I imagine, no doubt that that's not true. But yeah, anyway. I don't know about. I mean, I don't. Why do you say you don't like her anyway? She's had like a history of mental health problems. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, her music. I just don't.
Oh right. Well, I don't think most people probably, the average person, they don't know the entire back catalogue of Sinead O'Connor. But
sure.
All I know is from what she's done, from what I've heard, that she's obviously got a great voice. But
yeah, sure.
But on the other hand,
she's Irish, isn't she?
Yeah. Many people believe that, but she's actually from Lancashire, where Josh lives. And,
get the fuck out of here!
People would, sometimes like shout on the stage, up to the stage when she was singing and stuff, and she'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Just shut up! I'm trying to sing here." And then she'd go, "Hey, I remember when I had my first drink. I'm from Lancashire, and I started drinking when I was 11 years old. All right, my name's, my friend Josh Backhouse would tell you the same, straight up, no lie. I remember when I first had my first pint of ale."
That's right, and her big hit was written by Prince. Thank you, Ashley. I forgot all about that. There you go. As far as Irish singers, I prefer the gal from the Cranberries. I loved the Cranberries back in the old days. Really enjoyed their music.
That's a very controversial point about a band that sold millions of copies and were very, very popular in America as well.
Yeah, I don't care who disagrees with me. I'm brave enough to say it.
Really putting it, pushing it out there. And both their first albums, one of them was called something like "Everybody Else Is Doing It, Why Can't We?" Or is that right? And the first two albums, they were both sitting on sofas. So I thought that was nice. It was like a good tribute to Friends before Friends was even made. So, but yeah, I liked some songs by the Cranberries for sure. "Dreams," that's a really good one.
Yeah.
It's not the same song that Fleetwood Mac did, though. You've got to remember that.
It's not the same one.
No. Often people get those confused. So.
Wow, Indie Phantom bringing it back to Twin Peaks. Go ahead, put his comment up.
I think Ashton is.
All right, then. Sinead refused to appear with Dice Clay opening SNL, and Kyle MacLachlan there ousted with her as musical guest. Kyle in the promo said she would appear if she had no objections. There you go.
Well, she must have decided not to appear. But I remember an interview.
She appeared with Kyle. Don't you get it? She refused to appear with Dice Clay when he was hosting it. So instead, she.
Oh, all right. Sorry. But she's put Dice Clay open SNL. I'm like, what the hell? So, anyway, let's just go on. Let's get down to it now, all right?
Very serious. Wow.
I had an interview.
All right, that's enough mucking about.
This one interview where Laura Flynn Boyle was being interviewed. I remember back in the day, and this is something I got sent from America on videotape. There was this trader who, recorded all these things. And it was Laura Flynn Boyle talking about what she likes, kind of, in the current scene back then. And then she just said, what else do you like? And she says, "Oh, comedy, I like Andrew Dice Clay." So Laura Flynn Boyle was bigging him up. I was just watching it. I was like, what?
That's an interesting.
Okay, fair enough.
I wouldn't have expected that. Hickory dickory dock.
She was a bit of a real wild child.
He does hilarious.
She was a bit wild, Laura Flynn Boyle, and she, eventually went out with Jack Nicholson. So.
Yeah. Do you remember that? That was his comedy, though.
No, I don't remember that because I don't know anything about Andrew Dice Clay. Okay,
he was just raunchy and
stop putting it on me, will you?
He did have it was Hickory Dickory Dock. This is one of his rhymes. Hickory Dickory Dock, this bitch was sucking my cock. The clock struck 2. I dropped my goo and dropped the bitch off at the next block. Oh, I'm not joking with you. That was his bit.
No, but the whole thing with him is that he was playing a character.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
there's a certain level, obviously, all different comedians are to some degree, but
he had a bit where he was in his stand-up where he go, "Oh, I was getting into a taxi and the fucking driver's a Chinese guy." And I said, "Oh, I don't want to get driven by a guy who could be blindfolded with a piece of dental floss." Oh, like these are the kinds of jokes he did.
Fair enough.
These are not sophisticated comedy by any means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think Ford Fairlane holds up in Phantom. I mean, I find that funny. I would find that hard to believe.
Ashton loves it, apparently.
No, it's not awesome at all. But
that business about the the floss. That's just
it's inappropriate, racist.
In itself, it's quite inventive, but it's like someone who'd be playing in like the bar that they had in the film Roadhouse.
Right, sure.
And so it makes sense there, but he kind of transported into the mainstream, didn't he? I suppose
you take the stereotypes. First of all, the terrible thing about the physical thing that their eyes, you know what I mean, and also the stereotype. But I don't know if you guys have that over there. The Asians are very poor drivers. It's a stereotype here in America.
Didn't know about him being in Michael Mann's Crime Spree. So
he was actually quite good in the Woody Allen film he did. Oh, Mandela Man checking in. Sorry, boys, I'm at the arcade with my bro. I didn't think you want me calling in from here kind of loud. Okay, well, enjoy yourself at the arcade.
Bruh.
If you want to call in and show us a scene that's going on in a Chicago arcade, I'm sure that the fans would like to see that if you have any kind of connection, Mandela.
It's all right. I might
I'm kind of curious what the scene is.
Time.
Like, is he on mushrooms at the arcade? Well, where I'm at the arcade, and it's Chicago, so could be an interesting, colorful community. So go ahead and call in, Mandela. Give us a live report from the arcade.
Well, it depends what he means by arcade exactly. Because when we say arcade, we mean more like a games arcade.
Yeah. What else would it be? I presume that's where he's at. He's at what they call Dave and Buster's.
Well, they call them shopping arcades, don't they, as well?
No, that's for you people, don't they? Not here in America.
Well, maybe that's here then. We're more sophisticated generally in this kind of thing.
Yeah. So they, all right. Yeah, I hope he's having a blast, but I would like to have a report from him. So let's buzz him here, see if we can get him on. Oh, he doesn't have the link, does he? Or did you send it to him?
Well, it was certainly in the chat.
I'll send it to him. I mean, what's 3 stoned middle-aged men in an arcade? What more could you ask for, bruh, dude? Oh, that's not right. No, that's okay. That's right. Let's see if he responds. While we wait. So anyway, are you planning to go to the cinema this week or see anything in theaters this week? There's still some good movies out there. You got The Pope's Exorcist. You've got this Beau is Afraid film. You've got The Evil Dead 2. Do any of these three films?
I don't know what point you think that The Pope's Exorcist is personally a good recommendation for me.
I feel like that's a movie you'd want to see on the big screen.
It's like a page. It's like you're trying to put me in through some kind of pain by seeing it. Like, I'm a big fan of the original Exorcist film and Exorcist 2 and 3, but it definitely doesn't look akin, like it measures up. So I'd watch it for a laugh on TV. But,
So
there's a film I want to see called How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Is that some indie thing? I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
So you have no desire to see? Okay, so we know you don't want to see.
Though he's afraid it's not even out yet. I'm sure
it is. Oh well, it is here. So there's Bo is Afraid, and what about Evil Dead? Do you have any desire to see the Evil Dead film in the theaters?
No, I'm not too interested. No. Thanks. But.
All right, you don't have to be so snooty about it. I mean, people want to know what you're going to be seeing in the theaters. I mean, you haven't been to the theater since Dungeons and Dragons, where you berated your poor nephew.
1 week ago. 1 week.
Yeah, well, you didn't go last week, did you? So you're going on 10.
He told his other nephews that he, went to see it.
And they were jealous.
And he said, but James ruined it by doing massive farts all the time.
And the lady came up and asked us to keep it down if we could, and I was so embarrassed. Me uncle was stinking.
No, nothing like that happened. So.
No, I'm sure you're on your best behavior with the young man. But
no, he had salted popcorn.
Okay.
So
what else are you supposed to have?
That's unsalted popcorn, though, isn't it? That's very sophisticated.
Well, unsalted popcorn. Who eats unsalted popcorn?
No, I'm talking about sweet. You only have you probably could get it neither, but yeah.
He got sweet popcorn. I'm not a fan personally.
No, salted.
Salted. Okay, with butter on it. Yeah, movie theater popcorn, standard popcorn. Nothing wrong with that. It's part of the movie going experience in my mind, even though it's expensive and overpriced. It is part of the movie going experience.
But it's funny because that chain of cinemas, I've said to them before, I'm just taking this in. You don't mind too much, do you? I had a coffee and stuff. They said, no, it's okay. People can take in whatever they want. So the next week, I turned up. I took a whole chicken in with me. So
see, this is pushing it. Like the people who bring in a chicken, or they'll open up a Tupperware of spaghetti or something in the theater. That I'm against. Now, if you want to go buy your candy bars. And
I also asked the people who are working on what do you call them? The concession stand, don't you call it for some reason?
Right.
I don't know why do you call it that? Because concessions means like money off, doesn't it?
Concessions, or it's like giving into something. Why do they call it a concession stand? That's a really good question. I've never thought of.
Well, anyway, when you go there and you say to them, would you mind just, I brought in like half a kilo of spaghetti and bolognese. Can you just warm this up for me, please? I know she's got a microwave there. Is that asking too much, do you think?
To ask them to microwave it for you. Yeah, I think that might be.
And then you say, I want it steaming hot. Put it on at least 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, in the world we're living in now, people have got to adapt and just say, hey, if somebody wants to take in a massive Tupperware of spaghetti bolognese steaming hot, then that's the world we're living in, and I'm happy to help them do that.
Mm-hmm. Just so you know, some events or venues contract the right to sell food to third parties. Those contracts are often referred to as concession, hence the name for a stand where food is sold, concession stand. So you learn something every day.
Thanks for telling me. Yeah.
I didn't know the answer either, so I learned that today. Today I learned TIL.
Yeah, it was something I was watching, and it had a concession stand in it. I remember watching in the theatre, as you call it.
Theatre. Crime Story is way ahead of its time for sure. Love when the setting changes to Vegas. What's Crime Story? I'm not familiar with Crime Story.
It's a show that was on TV in America around the same time, or a bit before Twin Peaks, by Michael Mann.
Oh, okay.
So there's no doubt that it would have been pretty good. There were quite a number of shows around that time that were very good. Homicide, Life on the Street being one of them.
Yeah, of course, I remember that.
That was a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
There was an episode where Robin Williams was in that.
Is that right?
But I've told you before, like, it's not actually related, as far as I'm aware, to it. But there was a David Mamet film called Homicide. Highly recommend that.
Okay.
I mean, Mamet later did a film with Val Kilmer. So called Spartan. That was really good. But Homicide was my favourite. So yeah, Mandela Man actually does have the link, but I don't know if he's able to get in for, no doubt, Yeah,
he's busy.
He just asked me for the link. I sent it to him, and I can see he's got it. But...
He might not. We don't know what his reception is like in this arcade, or how much into the psychedelics he is. He might be, a little flighty, so working the devices might be challenging. We don't know.
Well, I think the words you're looking for, or description, is tripping ball.
Yeah. Bruh. Whoa.
He just told me that basically he was in a kind of a mall, and he put his hand into a slushy thing, that makes those slushy drinks, and was looking at it, going, "Oh, bro, look at that,
bruh, feel your hand in this. Whoa."
He got escorted out of the place.
Why are you asking us to leave, man? That kind of thing.
Yeah, all I did was, go behind the scenes to just see what it was really like behind the concession stands. And then I took all of my clothes off and I lay down in all of the popcorn.
What is this, Auschwitz?
What is this? Yeah, what is this? Belson? You're going to gas me next? Josh would walk in at some point and just casually unzip his suede jacket, camel coloured, and then say, "Yes, well, I remember the first time I had a can of special brew."
It's typical that Josh would be friends with a fella who, during the, the tits height of the pandemic, is complaining about restrictions. Oi, what is this, Auschwitz? Typical that that's the kind of company Josh keeps, don't you think?
I don't know how well he knew that person, but
nonetheless,
that was actually more when looser. So I think he was rebelling against the perceived how loose things were getting. He wanted them even looser, basically. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like, for instance, now, if you take in, like, say, an uncooked chicken and then give it to the people in the cinema behind, and they've got those grill things. They put it on that for you, and then you just wait 2 hours, maybe go and do some shopping, and then come back and they've grilled it for you.
I didn't know that was available. That's really something.
Well, it is in Derby because it's a way of helping people because people can't pay their electricity bills, etc. So now they grill chickens for them and so forth.
That's really kind.
It's a beautiful thing. If they're not doing it, I think they should be doing it. That's all I'll say.
People are struggling out there. This will help.
I mean, if people want to bring in things like cold kebabs, then they could bring they've just saved from the night before, bring those in, and they'll warm them up in the microwave again.
Perfectly reasonable.
Especially before going to see the Pope's Exorcist, and then you march into the screening of that with a very hot steaming kebab.
Yeah, I don't know why you got so offended that I suggested you go. You'd want to see that in the theaters. You really thought like, oh, that's what you think of me? That's well beneath me, mate.
No, it's not really. But it's just that the films are so uninventive nowadays. A lot of them. So, but I mean, I've heard a few things about it which would make it warrant seeing in the cinema. Actually,
Oh, is that right? Like what?
Its presentation of just the nature of the exorcism and of the youngsters, the way it's done, basically. Without going into too much detail about the whole thing, I don't really. But it's, yeah.
All right. Well, maybe if you're bored and you feel like going to a movie or something, you could check that out.
Well, I know you really like wanting me to go and see it, trying to force me, if anything. But
I'm trying to bully you into going to see. No, I'm certainly not. No, if you're not interested,
are you actually being paid by the movie company to make?
I want your review. That's all. As a connoisseur of the genre, I'd like to have your review. Sue me, for wanting your review on that.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think there's a lot of your viewers who would say, "All right, I've just seen the Pope's Exorcist, and let me tell you, I've seen some bullocks in me life," or maybe you loved it.
Well, I would always try and see the positive in anything, really, like, especially when I've made the effort of going out to see it and everything.
Right. Well, you want to let people know if they should save their movie going dollars or wait for it to come out on video on demand. Let people know.
Yeah.
People are struggling out there, and their movie going dollars mean a lot to them. So maybe you could assist the people.
Yeah, as in you can make people decide, is the Pope's Exorcist worth going to see when the cheapest price tickets are available? That kind of, yeah, I think that's a good kind of decision.
And then you could also bring different food items with you so you could review those. Today I brought me a Greg's sausage, or maybe a bowl of chicken tikka masala, and then discuss that as well.
What about if I took in some cereal, like the packet, and then a bowl and everything, and some milk, and maybe even sugar?
Well, the logistics would be challenging, but yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, the problem also would be, putting it in the bowl and all that kind of thing whilst the lights are out in there. But I would usually, and as I have done many times anyway, use one of those, kind of hiking, caving type of lights that you put on your head.
Okay.
I have that on during the entire duration,
like
of
a
the
minor
film,
or
really.
whatever. Yeah. Okay. Oh, is that right? Has anyone ever complained about that?
No, I sit at the back of the cinema, so no one notices, really. It's very unnoticeable there.
I think they would actually, if you looked up or something, it would interfere with the screen going experience, wouldn't it?
Well, I haven't thought about that, but that's their problem, not mine, basically.
So Russell Crowe in a priest outfit riding around on a moped, as Gary says, that doesn't intrigue you?
Well, it's not unhinged, is it?
No, but nothing is.
I mean, it sounds like a film which is somewhat knowingly ridiculous.
You think so? I don't think so. I think it's dead serious.
But not entirely, because I've had a review that says Russell Crowe really gives it his all and puts.
Yeah, I saw a review that said that his performance saves the film.
And he knows that it is ridiculous, and his performance is ridiculous. But he said the makers of the film don't seem to be up to that level, though. So,
all right,
not as inventive or crazy as Russell Crowe can be.
That's a Greg steak bake. That sounds pretty delicious, actually. Is that a good thing to eat?
Mm. Well, the last time I went in there, I actually took in some Greg's cookies and coffee and things, and I had a a cardboard cutout of Anya Taylor-Wood with me, sat next to me.
Oh no, that could give people the wrong impression.
No, a lot of people seem to look at it and think it was good. Actually,
yeah, they didn't think
they
you were
said
insane.
some of them said this looks like a nice image you've got here. Are you okay? I said yes, fine. What do you mean? Am I okay? So just wondered, because you've got a cardboard cutout of Anya Taylor-Wood with you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, she's my girlfriend.
This is where it gets disconcerting to people. They would probably get, put off by that.
What about if I had one of those sort of like latex real life?
Again, real dolls. So
models of Anya Taylor-Joy, aka Wood.
Yeah, I don't know that people that might rub people the wrong way, so to speak.
I think to take that, like in Lars and the Real Girl, take that into the cinema with you. I think that would be great.
We're not too far from that, by the way.
Then you could take food in for her as well. And if you could get like a doll that actually eats and then shits everywhere, that would be amazing.
Oh, now you see. Why would you want a shitting doll? Like, that's the feature you would want in these real dolls, is that they shit?
Yeah, you can take them into the cinema, and then you go in, and I would have to go into the female stalls, obviously, so I'd get a bit of a thrill seeing, if I can see any flange or boobs.
Mm.
And I'd say, you sit down there, love, and I'll just stand outside to take, and then you'd hear inside, like...
Yeah, get the AI going on that to assist it, yeah.
And I'd be like, Anya, you're all right in there, love? And then, she'd say, yes, I'm all right, thanks. It's been going on for 5 minutes now. Solid.
Mm.
That's all right, love. I ate loads and loads of those Greg steak bakes.
That kind of experience would make you feel closer to her, I think, if anything.
Sure.
Do you know what is actually the #1 film on UK Netflix now?
No, what is it?
Nobody, with Bob Odenkirk.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. It's like a film that's 2 years old now, but I watched it because I only watched up to the middle before. I watched the rest of it, and I was like, it's fun for what it is, but it's a bit lacking. It's a bit kind of ho-hum. It seems like it could never really get better, the scene on the bus. But I quite liked seeing Christopher Lloyd in it and playing his dad. But...
Yeah, it was just okay. What do you want me to tell you? It wasn't bad. It was better than what I expected, truthfully. Sorry, I expected it to be a load of shit, but it was just mediocre. It wasn't a load of shit.
Oh, actually, this week as well, I watched a film which you might say, why watching that again? But I watched The Machinist. So,
oh yeah,
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
so,
he lost a lot of weight for that.
Yeah, I know. It's anyway, it's a good film. Definitely, very kind of does what it says on the tin. That's how I describe it a bit. But it's not necessarily the best film ever, but I think it's certainly well made.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in its depiction of that kind of crisis that he's going through and everything. Yeah. I mean, obviously, his weight loss throughout it is ridiculous.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I don't think we're going to be having.
I gotta get going anyway. So, all right then, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone in the chat, for coming along with us on this wild ride.
Indeed.
So, thank you, everyone, again, and we'll see you soon. We'll be back next week. And it's been a lovely time.
All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye for now. Bye. See you all in the trees.